Hello, Lola Roo. It's good to see you, baby. This is a last minute thing. This is a last minute thing for me. My son fell asleep and I've been so overstimulated all day with just like life. Do you guys know how that is when you're just like overstimulated, overwrought, stress, that whole thing? And you're just like, well, let's go talk some shit on the YouTube streets because fucking why no? Everybody else is doing it. This place is wild. This place is fucking wild. Not quite as wild as X. Oh hey. Oh, awesome. Yay. Hey, Crackers Whack. How you doing, baby? Always a pleasure. Lola Roo. I love that. I love you say that. I love you come over here. I love all everything about that. Because we talk the best shit over here. And I was thinking, so as I'm sitting here warming myself up, I have no plan, right? I think my best streams are when we got no plan. I thought to myself, I'm like, maybe we could do some more of the I can't stay silent anymore. I got a stalker, or it's Playahs Choice. You tell me what you guys want to talk about, right? Um, I have been watching a lot of shit on the Guthrie case. Okay, that woman's still not found. That woman's still not found. They were in a yard. My 80-year-old mother, who God love her, still cares for my child. I come home today and she's like, "Did you see the old lady?" She calls an 84. She's 80. She calls the 84-year-old woman. "Do you see the old lady? They have a white tent in her yard." And I'm like, "Ma, nah, it's terrible, terrible shit." And then I'm perusing the YouTube streets, and there are some things on I'd rather fucking chew on rocks. So here we are. Crackers Whack, where you at? What do you guys want to talk about? I have Laura Matthias queued up, but I'm not afraid. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Playahs Choice. I think that's what we're gonna name this because I don't think we're going in the Laura Matthias direction. Do I see Bruce the Moose up in the house? Hey, baby, you want to go over some Laura Matthias? I'm feeling like talking some shit. Talk about whatever you want. I love Crackers Whack. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Um, yeah, I was over. I was like catching up. Like I don't get to like before my old job. Like I didn't have to interact with people, and like I have to interact with people. Okay, you want to hear something surprising? I'm actually extremely introverted, so I can like put on the oh my god I'm so social act, but I come home exhausted, right? I come home exhausted. I don't get to watch. Like I'll be able to put my earbuds in and just do my geek thing all day. My life's not like that anymore. So I have to come home. In between the time I get home, I need to like do all the things and catch up on everything. It's fucking impossible. How do you do that? Anyone have any pointers? Because I don't know how. Bruce the Moose, it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you're well. What's going on? Hey, congratulations on your Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Listen, you guys won the Super Bowl, but there's nothing more exhilarating, okay? Addie's, yeah. There's nothing more exhilarating than when you're at Gillette Stadium and everyone's, packing into the Gillette Stadium and you're and you're all hyped up for the game, specifically when it's like preseason and still hot out, right? Oh, honey. Yes, Colette. Yes. Oh my God, they did. Wait. Okay. So I was hold on. Oh my God. Talk about overstimulation. Colette Cameron, hot. How you doing, baby girl? How are you doing, my friend Colette? Part of the HTC fucking fuckus is what it is. It's all fuckus. Yeah. Is there a specific area of where I can find that? I was listening to Hella a little bit early, but I got sidetracked and just decided to hop on my own stream. They victimized those people, stole their shit, and then put it behind a paywall like the motherfuckers they are. Bruce, I hope you feel better. Congratulations on your Seahawks. That's all I'm gonna say. I was gonna say it's nothing more exhilarating than hearing Ozzy Osbourne so loud that's pumping your chest out. Damn it, damn it, damn it. There's nothing more. All of a sudden, Patriots all over the field running out. All aboard! I Oh my gosh, should I play some of Hella's? I didn't catch up on this. We only got like 10 people in stream right now. We are a small group tonight. I hope Hella won't mind. She has way more views. I hope you guys go over there if you're not subscribed to Hella. Go over there and subscribe to my girl. She does great content. Her and Dolly Talk. She doesn't have. Hold on. Let me go back. It appears after the mom posted publicly, she fixed it and cares deeply. What a fucking bitch. She have a cable shit. She did that shit on purpose. Hold on, I'm pulling this up. All right. I'm playing some Mahela. I don't know if we can play all of it, but hold on. Okay. Here we are, kids. Just make sure you tag them. Thanks, Crack is Whack. I will. I was in her chat earlier today too. I will tag them. You reminded me actually about the Stephanie, and I appreciate that. That's good looking out. Thank you. Hold on, let me share this screen. I know you. I saw you over in Hella's. I hope you don't mind, Colette, having to peruse this with me again. But these people are unbelievable. Let me make like this, like that, like this, like that. All right. Let's listen to some of this. This is, I think, where she gets into it. This is Rebecca, was it Barsardi? She was born, she's 2 years younger than me, which is so sad. She went missing in July, discovered almost a year later in May, and identified in June. Okay. This is poor girl.
Yeah, very. And yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, no,
It's just
sorry. I've never even really thought about the fact that when somebody goes missing and then their remains are found and then they're not identified, that you can't do a birth to death date properly.
Right.
Like
That's
a
true.
normal sort of rest in peace date to date. Yeah. And I went to write it out, and I saw that everywhere they'd written it, the family, they'd written this, December 28, 1987. Wow, she's young. And yes, the dog was killed too.
Her dog? Wait.
Abusive relationship.
Wait a minute. Oh, hey, Drew. It's always a pleasure. We're gonna go over some Matthias stuff. We're gonna listen to some Hella for a little while. Excited utterance. She's good content for this kind of stuff. Definitely. I'm kind of the comment the creator that she doesn't approve of, because I speculate over here. Like, if you're gonna tell me, hey, just me, if you're gonna give me some crazy facts and try to make me believe them, I dissect them. I don't trust anybody. If you're gonna tell me shit, make sure that shit adds up, because we talk about it over here. Hello, just me, Drew K. All right.
Marriage, and she was trying to get a divorce. She was trying to get away, and what often happens in these situations is when the spouse who's trying to get away makes some moves in that direction, thanks to some witnesses, that maybe she was not on her own.
All right. So if you guys want to watch this, you guys can go over
the family's still very much searching for answers. They hired a personal investigator. Yeah, it's just really, really sad all around, and they're very angry with the sheriff, and yeah, it's just horrible. The whole thing's really horrible. So yeah, very, very tragic, very tragic. So like, Hidden True Crime covered this case in 2022. Yeah, covered by Hidden True Crime back in 2022. And there were 12, I think, videos, not all the interviews like Lauren talking, there were other videos as well. I'll go back to the other screen.
Particularly, yes, I mean, yeah, I crack. I get it. I get it. It's like this. Talk about football, right? Some of the best things about football, right, is like when they're doing the stat and line, right, and you hear like Brady, you'll be like Tom Brady, Florida State University, and then you hear like you know Drake May, the old Mississippi, and then then there's like Gerard Butler, Alabama High School. It's like, what? Were you killing kids in high school? Okay. So, um, yeah, this one, she allegedly was unalived by her boyfriend, or I don't really remember this. Um, I don't really remember this case so much, but I do remember her, Lauren Matthias, covering it back in the day. I do. Oh wait, was this the one that they were saying she did it to herself? No, wasn't that the one that the girl ended up like it is? Was this the one that she ended up in the water? I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out.
Okay. All right. Now, so there's a, all right, so let's get into what's just happened, right? So there's a playlist. Now let's consider this for a minute. So there's a playlist and it's full of videos from back in 2022.
Brian LTL covered this back in the day too, and they ruled it there was no crime and it was self-unaliving, and she drove into the water by herself and her dog. Listen, do you think if she was going to unalive herself that she wouldn't let that dog out? Come on. Come on. I don't believe that. My friend Colette here says, yeah, they kind of ruled no crime, and I don't remember exactly, but they said her and the dog went in. Yeah. That's right. But she was in a DV situation with the boyfriend at the time. Not saying the boyfriend did it. I don't even know like the I don't remember the details too much about this. But Lauren, once again, yeah, he is. um, I don't remember the details, but I do remember Lauren covering this back in the day because I was following the case back then. And it kind of went cold and whatnot.
But the last update that was made to the playlist was November 18, 2025. Now, hang on a minute. It's not actually November 18, 2025. I need to fix this. Let me fix it just a second because, oh, hang on, maybe I already have. There we go. Yes, let me fix that. It was actually November 17, 2025 US time because my screen shows Australian time.
18 hours ahead, roughly.
Yeah, 15 or so, but I'm in the future, right? So I always need to account for the fact that when a date shows up on my screen, it's usually a day ahead. Well, it is a day ahead. Yeah, I'm in the future. All right. So, yes. So the last update was made on November 17, 2025. Now, yeah, got to consider what's going on in true crime.
Okay, so let's just start here for a second. I don't ever remember there being updates about this case in any time recently. Do you? I don't remember there being any updates about this case. Why is Lauren covering it like 5 months ago? Just me said they said the dog went first and she was trying to save the dog, but didn't her Jeep go in the car with her? Why is she trying to get the dog with the Jeep, right? She was found inside the car, as far as I remember. Oh my God.
November 2025, like lots of uproar, things going on. And I don't know what would lead them to make a change to a really old playlist in November of 2025, but you think about it. So that's that. And it says podcast 12 episodes. And no criminal investigation has ever been opened in Rebecca's case. Now, two birds on a wire, you say that those videos have been paywalled since back then. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's the case, maybe that happened back then. Maybe.
Colette said she had an active domestic violence order pending that got dismissed because she didn't show because she was missing. Mom and ex-husband fought over the body. It was just a huge uphill battle for the family. How sad is that, Colette? I cannot.
Okay, let's have a look. All right, so something else though I think happened back then. So I tried to watch after the fallout. Interesting. Okay. So perhaps they put those videos behind the paywall then. But also, I don't know if you would have noticed back then, Two Birds on a Wire, because you were looking, but did you notice whether or not one unavailable video was hidden back then? Yeah. Because
who downloaded it? I want to know who downloaded it.
Yeah. And I'm interested in this because, yeah, what is this video? What is this video that is missing? Because something else about this video. Looky here. And look at this date. 17th. That reads correctly, right? 17th of November, 2025.
Oh, wow. Hold on. Let's stop it here for a second, kids. That says Monday, November 17th of 2025. She was negative. Right here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I cannot.
Yep.
Right. And this is from Human Tooth X on Hidden True Crime Chat 3 months ago, noted that 30,816 views disappeared in one swoop from Hidden True Crime's channel. That
It is really sad, Drew.
tends to indicate someone deleted or hid a video on the 17th of November, 2025. Right? Does this seem a little bit too much like a coincidence to you guys? What's this video? So this person saying here, I was curious how many followers HTC has lost since this all came to a head that offset the number of views for that day. This wouldn't happen if something was privated. Any guesses on what it could be? Let's get these numbers up to 10K. It's a nice round number to quantify. I find it too much of a coincidence that on the 17th of November, 30,000 views disappears, which seems like about the right kind of amount of views for a video on a case like that, right? I mean, I could be wrong. It might be a couple of videos. They might have deleted a few videos that day. But it's negative views. So to have negative views in a day, that means that something's been deleted. But it's the same day that a playlist full of videos from 2022 just happens to have been edited.
Oh my God, please someone have this video. Please someone have this video. Please have this video.
Last updated November 17th, 2025. Yeah. Copy video was a different date. Yeah, and I believe it is missing. Yeah.
I'm gonna try something really quick.
On, Hidden True Crime Chats as well. There's one or two different people on there who have been looking at the Social Blade activity and doing some chat GTP queries on the data to see what's going on. But I just find this really curious. I'm like, what was it? Now, guys, is there anyone in chat, please, who followed this at the time and can remember whether or not Dr. John did a psychological analysis or psychoval?
We all know that answer. He can't help himself. He was probably doing the crazy talk like he does to that Nick Reiner kid. He did to Lori Daybell. He does to all these people. And he's like, I'm not giving medical advice, but here's my medical advice.
At all on the alleged perpetrator, the husband, or anybody at all, because he doesn't appear in any of the videos that are there. He doesn't appear.
Odd.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this along a little bit. Oh, come on. I'm like making it skip now. What are we doing? What is happening? I'm sorry, kids. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I need a producer.
The 17th of November. And I don't know for sure. I'm speculating. This is hella speculating, everybody. Lauren loves to say that now. This is Lauren speculating. This is hella speculating that might have been a video from that playlist, the Barsotti playlist. Speculating. Okay, let's keep going. So, here's what happened recently and why Rebecca's family are upset. Rightly so. Okay, so Rebecca's legacy, Justice for Rebecca. This was a post put up yesterday. And when I say yesterday, it might have been because...
Oh my god. All right. So why can't I make this bigger? Shit, I'm trying to remember. Was Lori Hellis co-hosting at the time? I mean, this was 2022, right? Calypso, hey baby. It's good to see you, mama. Just me. I think it was. I don't know. We'll have to check. I mean, I'm sure it'll come up. I'm going to read this to you guys though. It says, "Please be aware this was yesterday at midnight." So yesterday at noon. This is what Rebecca's legacy wrote on the Justice for Rebecca page. I'm going to read it so that we don't have to. It says, "Beware. Hidden True Crime, a true crime podcast, has placed some of their videos regarding Rebecca Barsotti behind a subscription. The lowest subscriber fee is $2.99 a month at this time. I hope you will find the videos very valuable. I hope you will find the videos very valuable and be willing to subscribe to hear more about Rebecca's case. When you go to find Rebecca Barsotti.com media, you will notice some of the episodes are blacked out. We did not do this. It is a result of the episodes being placed behind a paywall. The interviews Lauren did provide a lot of detail that has been lost in time. Also, lost by Mineral County Sheriff's Office due to the sheriff's laptop and digital phone being compromised at the time Ryan Funk took office as sheriff. I apologize for the paywall. We have not received any compensation for those episodes." What the fuck? Oh my god.
Now, it was yesterday.
Wait, does anyone know? Does Lauren and John or Hidden True Crime run this page on Facebook? Does anybody know? Or is this a family member? I'm going to assume it's a family member, right?
So it might have been yesterday. So day before yesterday. And there isn't an update to this yet, guys. So just hold tight, but we'll read this first. So please be aware, Hidden, a true crime podcast, has placed some of their videos regarding Rebecca Barsotti behind a subscription. The lowest subscriber fee is $2.
Hello, work wife. Always good to see you. Just Me says it was during the time Lori Daybell was incompetent. Colette says, "I think I saw a comment flash a few minutes ago of her saying she was." Oh shit! They don't. The page is run by her family. Thank God. Okay, yeah, Drew. It's weird. Laura Mathias is not a journalist. I don't know. This is why she got fired. She's not a journalist. Come on.
$99 a month at this time. I hope you will find the videos very valuable and be willing to subscribe to hear more about Rebecca's case. When you go to www.findrebeccabarsotti.com media, you will notice some of the episodes are blacked out. We did not do this. It is a result of the episodes being placed behind the paywall. The internet did provide a lot of detail that has been lost in time, also lost by the Mineral County Sheriff's Office due to the sheriff laptop and digital phone being compromised at the time Ryan Funk took office as sheriff. I apologize for the paywall. We have not received any compensation for these episodes. Yeah, well, victims of crime don't tend to get compensated by anybody.
Can you believe it? What is going on? What is going on? Lauren.
Right, Discords. But she doesn't even have Discord.
She's a better person than me.
Yeah, you're just on there 24/7.
No.
Yes.
I do sleep. When I'm awake, I'm on there.
And it's going the whole time. Hey, David, can we all just take a moment and recognize Salvador for literally creating a conspiracy out of thin air, and it's not even him leading the charge? David, why do I bring your chat? Right, so, oh yeah, I think the family is probably that we have not received any compensation for these episodes is a sore point, and I don't blame them.
Listen, I think that they are panicked that people are going to, first of all, forget about Rebecca's case. And because they're tied to hidden true crime, the fact that they felt the need to go back and check Rebecca's streams and then notice that they're behind a paywall and they felt like they had to come out. Right. And I give people like Hella and JS for Justice and Crusha and all of them kudos for bringing it to the world's attention that these people are fucking scumbags. Okay. And they probably felt the need to do this. And the fact that a family who's looking for the loved one's murderer feels the need to come on here and be like, I was never compensated for this and it's not my fault. That right there, right there, my friends, that is re-victimization over and over and over. There's a pattern with these bitches. I like your name change, Calypso, just so you know. My Cali girl. Can you believe it? They had to come out and they were like, I had nothing to do with this. The fact that this family felt like they had to go back and check that there's, hold on. Colette says, sucks by the families apologizing. Exactly. They didn't paywall them. Awkward. They linked them, then felt like they needed to clarify that they never profited. It's tragic, isn't it? It's sad. That's what it is. It's sad. Girl, talk about it. There were interviews that could be useful to law enforcement. I'd be mad too. Yep. Just me. I bet it was Lauren and John. Oh, that's right. I bet it was because Lauren and John didn't want Lori Hellis to have any credit. I agree.
Because they don't feel like they've been given any ownership over the videos, and
they haven't.
They haven't. They belong to Hidden True Crime, and I'll show you in a minute why they probably feel even more angry about that, because the content has just been given to Lauren and John.
Wait a minute. So basically, Lauren did to these people what she did to Crusha and Way and Kay, where they were like, "Hey, why don't you give me some pictures of JJ when he was a baby and Tylee at Kobe's wedding and all of these things," and then made it their property that no one else can take. And that is a fair assessment that they didn't want Lori Hellis to have any accolades for having anything to do with it. That's brilliant. Just me. I agree.
There are audio recordings, there's text messages, there's photos that they worked hard to collect as evidence. And they have, as I say, they've disappeared in time and they need those. And they can't get to them without telling people to go and pay $2.99 a month to these people who have basically held them behind a paywall, but they have they guarded them.
Yeah.
And you're right, that's the sad part. HTC shouldn't own all the rights to those to family.
The thing is that Families aren't thinking about this part of it. When you have a YouTuber that has, as many followers as she has, and they're just trying to get the word out, they're not thinking, I'm making all of this information hidden true crimes property. They're not thinking that. I don't believe they are. That's my opinion. They're not thinking that. And all of a sudden, all this shit starts coming out about them re-victimizing people and using people and being manipulative and fucking money grubbing hoes. Okay. Then they start looking back and they're like, oh my God, did they do this to me? And sure as shit, they did.
They found those things. They gave them over to HTC in good faith at a time when they were very vulnerable. We've seen this before, haven't we, guys?
Hello, Crusher. Except my parents did not give Lauren any photos. Lauren apparently scraped the photos when she used the collage. Can you fuck the audacity, Crusher? The fucking audacity. She has no shame. She has no. Well, in actuality, though. So I think let me clarify what I meant by it became hidden true crimes property, right? What I meant by that is the videos, right? So like they obviously still have all of that information. Those were yours pictures and your family's things, right? However, when it was put onto their lives, all of a sudden they're like, well, I can take this away. This is mine to take away. Just like when you were showing your family's photos on your stream, when you're like, no, fuck this bitch, right? She used her stream as the weapon that you couldn't show your family's photos. She had control of the situation. She's a control freak, as we can see. Can you imagine, Crusher? You did the right thing by coming forward. You and your mother coming forward, and Kobe, right? And Kobe, you guys came forward. It's like, no, this girl is a loose cannon. She's unhinged. She does all these things. And look at Rebecca's legacy went back to hidden true crimes bullshit and was like, oh, they did this to me. Surprise, surprise. Is anyone like really shocked that this was, and not for nothing, do we know how long they were privatized and put behind a paywall? Do we know? So because Lauren is mad at Lori Hellis, right? And she thinks she owns the operation like she did in the Daybell case. She just took it down, right? She just took it down. But because it's her stream, I, she stops giving out information about the victim because, in my opinion, she doesn't give a flying fuck about these victims. She don't care about anybody but herself. How long were these paywalled? Like, that's scumbag shit, right? Like, I have people, I listen, in the Karen Reed world, people do this shit all the time. Like, I have raged and regretted streams before, right? At other creators in the free Karen Reed shit. However, this isn't about Lauren and Laurie Hellis or Lauren and Gigi or Lauren. No, this is you preyed on these people to get their story and then you put it down for a $2.99 membership. The fuck's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Lauren Matthias?
We've seen this before. I didn't want to say Ransom, but yeah, Ransom. Yeah. And they trusted them. They thought, oh, they seem like really nice people. And this is what happens. Yeah. Can you imagine experiencing the worst loss imaginable and then being taken advantage of so someone can make money off your tragedy? It's utterly disgusting. Yeah.
Crusher does. Crusher knows all about that. Crusher knows exactly what that feels like. Can you imagine? Yep. Crusher and Kay Woodcock can. Kobe can. Right? And everybody else who she bamboozled. Right? Or it didn't even bamboozle. These people, you know, you're not thinking about later. You're thinking about right now. Get the word out. These people are willing to platform me. Like, oh my God, they're trying to help. And I bet Lauren's real helpful at first. Right? She uses what she can. She uses you up and then gets out of there. It's disgusting.
Yes. Why do you think they hit them? Good question. Isn't that interesting that the whole premise behind their channel is hidden motives, finding out the hidden motives. And yet here we are going, why do we think they hid them? Isn't that curious, HMS? Yeah. I personally don't think it's money
Mm-mm.
at all. I don't think it's about money. I think it's about control, and I think there might be something in them that they'd rather.
Okay, put a 1 in the chat. Oh my god, my shit's dragging so bad. Hold on. Oh my god, I missed so many comments. My shit's backing up. Hold on, let me go back. Just Me says she took them without permission from everybody. Yeah, right. You see, right. So it's not like the pitches and stuff are hers, but she weaponized them because she puts them on her platform. She controls the situation. She's the maestro, right? The bitch weaponizes everything. Everything. Hi, Caddy. Good to see you, Mama. Yeah, it's always good to see Crusha. I saw her graveyard train leaving. Yeah. Yeah. Crusha says, listen, everybody here, Crusha from Difficult Research. If you're not already subscribed over there, please go over and support Crusha. She is a family member to the little kids that were murdered in the Daybell, Lori Daybell, Chad Daybell case, and she was victimized by Lauren. You guys probably saw her over at Turtle Boy. If you guys are free, can read, or if you haven't been following, all of this, definitely go over. She deserves our support. Fuck Lauren. Just Me says, so desperate to get the story out, they don't think people could. Yes, they don't think people could see them. Right. Yeah. Workwife says Laura Mathias has zero boundaries. She can't have business versus friend relationship. She can't separate victims from money. Girl, preach it all the way out. Yes. Yes. She know, because it's not about victims. In my opinion, it's not about separating the victims and the money. The victims are the money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she's that deep. She just sees dollar signs and control. My opinion, right? My opinion. Fuck this bitch. Oh my god.
People not see for some reason. But Watergirl, they're copyright anyway, right? So this is something that people don't quite. It's unsaid when a content creator, or not just content creator, anybody.
How much you want to make a bet she's gonna get? I see. I didn't watch all of this. I only saw like the first few minutes of it. I bet she's gonna say, like, it's not about the things that are the victims, the living victims things. It's that Lauren made them hers by putting them on her platform. She's the maestro.
Put something out under their name, it's automatically copyright to them. Like, they own the IP anyway, right? So if you create something, it's yours. You don't need to say I'm copywriting it. Like, if I, as a graphic designer, if I make something, it's my intellectual property. It just is. Like, I don't need to go and like register it somewhere. And that's a bit of a problem for the person that is trying to claim can copyright strike somebody else because it exists on their channel. If it exists on your channel first, then that's a bit of a problem for the person that is trying to claim it as being theirs. Yeah. As your intellectual property. Crimes or missing
kind of went over
persons
this.
cases.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back.
Here's some responses to that Facebook post. I had to cancel my subscription to HTC. I was sending them quite a bit every month between YouTube and Patreon. Makes me sad. Money has become the objective when it comes to anything involving active crimes or missing persons cases. And this is the mother of Rebecca now responding. What I don't understand is putting Rebecca's story behind the paywall. Laura Mathias is more than aware of all the obstacles in getting attention to her DV missing murdered case. She just literally created another wall, cry face, by Angela Mastrovito, her name is. And then this Emily person has responded, I agree with this thought, Angela. The paywall will only limit those who can access Rebecca's story. I'm sorry. And then
listen, who else who has seen the YouTubes completely destroy people's integrity? They have it probably starts off maybe maybe for some. It may start off as like I want to help victims, I want to help these people, me, I want to help them, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then money completely destroys the situation, and then it just becomes about the money, right? No integrity. They don't give a shit who they hurt. They stop feeling a little bit of rich. They, a little bit of riches, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then all of a sudden it turns into what we're witnessing real time, right? You guys, my chat is awful. I can't see chat.
This Nicole person says, not really happy about this, that this kinds of cases, there should not be a paywall.
And that was all yesterday.
Yes. So there has been an update, guys. I'm getting to it. So
that's fine.
her story shouldn't be behind a paywall. I'm so sorry. This is absolutely not okay. This is wrong. It's profiting off the victims and families. A friend of mine calls it exploitation of the victims' families. No, a friend of mine calls it exploitation of the victims' families. And then Angela Mastrovito, who was the mother, says, no, I have written and requested a reason as to why they were put behind the paywall. Response is pending. Okay, so she wrote them. Also, whilst response was pending, Mr. Breakfast put a post on Reddit. I put this stream up and I put a post up about it. Was your voice on there? I'm pretty sure you'd have to sign something agreeing to that and maybe even get compensated for it. Incorrect. That's not true at all. Unfortunately, Hidden True Crime can do whatever they want with those videos. I'm not quoting them. I'm saying
Crusher, I couldn't believe I am 100% with you. Crusher says, but I don't think it was YouTube that destroyed the credibility. I think Lauren and John, opportunistic vultures who happened, who just like fell upon YouTube and they use the platform. Yes, 100%. I am 100% in agreement with that. 100. Okay. There's a reason why you can't find John on the internet. There's a reason why Lauren couldn't sustain a job or friendships and then came onto the YouTube, because they can't make it in like a regular world setting. So what do? They're like, where's the best place? Because the thing is, this has been happening for forever on YouTube, that families get exploited and that they get used. And like, look at the Sebastian Rogers case. That turned in to, it has nothing to do with Sebastian Rogers. It stopped having to do with Sebastian Rogers like a month or two after the whole thing happened, and then it became all about the creators and who could outsmart, who could outdo each other, right? And Lauren didn't have that either, because she gets the families by themselves, isolated, like regular narcissists do. Like, no, you're mine now. You're mine. Like a kid with a stuffy.
Myself now. Hidden True Crime can do whatever they want with those videos. Yes, Brookblade. Once you create something and convert it into a format that can be shared, you automatically own the copyright. Absolutely. Registering it with the Copyright Office only gives it a definitive date of creation. Yes, absolutely. Yes, unfortunately, at this point, this family is really at Hidden True Crime's mercy with this stuff, if they want to use those videos as they stand right now. Moving on now, this the main author says there were 12 different episodes with various people that she interviewed. 2 or 3 have the recorded conversations between Nathan Jacobson and David Barsotti. Now, David Barsotti is the husband, discussing killing Jerry Mastrovotti and myself. So that is her parents, Rebecca's parents, as well as Suka. The other has the plan to burn our house down. 12 episodes with lots and lots of information. I am extremely grateful to Laura Mathias for her time and attention to the coverage of Rebecca's DV missing murdered. Just extremely disappointed that it is now behind a paywall. And then this Christy Kennedy says, can she not give you a recorded copy? I didn't even know that existed. I'd love to listen. Yeah, a recorded copy would be fantastic, wouldn't it? All right, so sometimes we just have to take one for the team, guys. So yesterday, yeah, I went behind the paywall.
That's hilarious. I hope you did it in a sock account, Hella. Are you going to get one of those Proton emails, the fake Proton emails where she's like, you're banned forever because you exposed me.
These things have got to be done. Yep.
For the greater good.
See, here's the problem, right? They're saying that these recordings and things, they don't have them anymore. They're on Hidden True Crimes channel. So there's audio recordings of people speaking to one another about the case. There's actually a portion of a court hearing on there that they can't get. They did their own investigation. They had a witness speaking to them about the fact that their daughter supposedly was not going down to that lake on her own, that her husband was with her. So there's a lot of information in that playlist that they just don't have anymore. That's the only place it is, because this happened a few years ago. And they say in their original post that, hang on, go back. I'm just going to share this instead. They say in their original post that the interviews Lauren did provide a lot of detail that's been lost in time and also lost by Mineral County Sheriff's Office due to Sheriff's laptop and digital phone being compromised at the time Ryan Funk took office as sheriff. Yeah. And I'm just going to give you the update before I move on. So update, and this was at 1:14 p.m. Eastern time today. The 12 videos created by HTC have been restored and can be accessed on our website. Now, I think when she says accessed on our website, she means linked through, like she hasn't been supplied the actual videos. They always were linking through to Hidden True Crimes.
Oh, so wait a minute. So even though they put them behind a paywall, they can still be accessed on her website. But how are people supposed to know that? Right? Because they're going to Hidden True Crime for the information. How are people ever supposed to know that was the case? Right? Can you believe the audacities?
YouTube channel. Let's double check that, Dali. I will.
Okay, so I can't see my StreamYard chat, but I will catch you up, Crusher. So this is Rebecca Basati. She was found drowned with her animal in a lake of some sort. Okay, and when she was born in like 87, she disappeared in May of 2022. Is it, kids? May 2022, and then was identified like June 2nd as being Rebecca. There's been no criminal charges against anybody. There's never been anything. Okay. But Lauren and John swooped in, right? Captain Savaho, and started doing all of this content on her, right? And they had kind of similar to your case, right? With they emailed, I mean, they interviewed friends, and they interviewed a guy with a bandana over his face who couldn't see him, and they did 12 streams interviewing people and did all types of stuff, much like they did with Lori Daybell. And then come to find out yesterday on the Justice for Rebecca page on Facebook, the family who runs the page noticed that Lauren put every single stream privated on members only on YouTube. So the general public cannot get access to those videos unless you pay for a subscription on their YouTube program. And when they noticed, they made a post on Facebook for the Justice for Rebecca page and said, hey, we didn't do this. We made no compensation. Like, I don't know why it's behind a paywall, like basically apologizing, like, oh my God, I can't believe this, and yeah, so they came onto Facebook apologizing to people, and now all but one video is behind a paywall on YouTube. These people are diabolical.
Well, the link is at the top of my chat if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Laura Mathias. Oops, what are you doing? Cool. I have spoken with Laura Mathias, and there was no ill intent with the videos being temporarily unavailable.
Okay.
Really? Temporarily unavailable? Okay. Lauren devoted her heart to Rebecca's case and continues to care deeply about justice for Rebecca. Thank you, by Angela Mastrovito. What do you think, guys, about the temporarily unavailable thing?
I think that they never thought that these people were going to go look back in their lives and notice that they were behind a paywall. So Crusher says, so was their agenda to make the family feel like they were finally getting help from people like Hidden True Crime, but they basically dropped them too? I hope I'm asking that right. Yeah, so they used them for 12 episodes when it was hot, and then as soon as there was like nothing left of the case, they basically just like dropped them, right? They're just fucking nasty human beings. And probably because you all came out and said how victimized you were by these people, by Lauren and John Mathias at Hidden True Crime. They went back to look at Rebecca's videos and was like, whoa, 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 not on my dime. Not today. Not today, Satan.
What do you think about that? Continues to care deeply. I mean, this mother, my heart just completely goes out to her, and I'm glad that she doesn't have to worry about this for the time being. But anytime this could happen again, anytime. And two birds on a wire. If you're saying that these have been behind a paywall since what, November, then that to me is not temporarily unavailable.
Okay, so let me read this because it's probably way too small for you guys to read. I'm not sure, but I'm going to read it to you. So this is after, so they put out at 12 p.m. all this stuff about the videos. By today, this morning at 4:18 a.m., they get an update, right? The 12 videos created by Hidden True Crime have been restored and can be accessed on our website. I have spoken to Laura Mathias, and there's no ill intent with the videos being temporarily unavailable. Bullshit. Lauren devoted her heart to Rebecca's case and continues to care deeply about justice for Rebecca. Thank you, Angela. Can you believe it? Can you fucking believe it? Crush it. It is a pattern. It is. And you know what's sad? These people still like they want their loved one to like they're so blinded. They can't see it like us, like me sitting here. I'm not them. I don't know. And so they're like, oh no, Lauren had no ill will and they're temporarily unavailable. No, they weren't temporarily unavailable. They were members only. And it's tragic that Lauren again manipulated. Oh, it must have been a mistake. It must have been a mistake. Let me. So you know what she probably did? She probably had the downloads of the videos and said to go, here you go. Here's the links. Put them on your website. People have to pay to get to your case from mine. That's what it seems like to me. What do you guys think? Laurie Hellis was co-hosting, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, very well could be. Lori was deemed incompetent in March or June of 2020. Oh my God. Kids.
Available. They were going to be there behind that paywall for until it got called out. They would have been there behind the paywall indefinitely.
Yeah, I like that, Christine. Like I said, I can't pull up comments. I'm chatting with you guys in the chat, and I can respond up here. I can't put them up on the screen. I apologize. It says she'll blame Grayson. Yeah, Grayson's she's gonna take it all to the chin one of these days, and I'm here for it. But we'll all know it's a big sham, but it's gonna happen. Give it time. I think it was March in 2021 when Lori went incompetent. Okay, so it was right. Did this happen in 2020, kids? Why did I think it was 2022? But it was a long time ago. In Crusha, they just did an update stream in November of 2025, correct? They just did an update on this case and brought someone on. But there hasn't been any movement because, again, they used the family for content and then got rid of them when there was no money to be had, in my opinion. Difficult. I think I have some of hidden true crimes. Oh, you do. TGIF live streams, not all, but some. And they're not discussing, and they were discussing your case for the most part. Yeah. Because people were very tuned in to your case, to your families being unalived. And that's where it was for them, right? There must have been Lauren said that it must have been a slow true crime month. Maybe, and that's maybe Lauren's slow true crime. It's sad to say was the Rebecca Basati case. Crusha, me and you should go over some of those TGIF things. I think we should one night, me and you and whoever else, we can go over those. I'm for it. Back in May in 2021, not 2020, Lori Daybell was incompetent mentally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Definitely, if it hadn't been called out. So, smells like there was a love bomb response. Yes. Yes. Families should be supplied copies of their loved ones' cases. Tragic losses should never be turned into money in someone's pocket unless it's okay with the family. You tried to watch on December 24, 2025. Yeah, well, I can just about guarantee you that these were put behind the paywall in November based on the edit of the playlist. Her mum needs to download them now. Okay, so
well, and that's the thing too. The only reason that they gave them the links to share on their platform was so that they could get the word out, right? Like, you're not using my platform. No, sirree, Bob. Nope, that's a step too far. I like victims, but not that much, right? That this is what it's giving to me. I'm a scumbag. You can't make me money anymore, and I don't want people coming to see Lori Hellis on my panel. So you can take them. That's what it looks like to me. Crusher says, and I remember there was a huge rumbling claiming that Hidden True Crime had been hacked, and people were insinuating it was my friend Jen, aka the L Mom, and me that was hacked by her, my parents included. It was 2020. Are you kidding me? Crusher, are you kidding me? Wicked red flag. Yeah. Carolina. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Quentin Tarantino couldn't make this shit up.
yeah, she does. We'll talk a bit in a minute about what I think she should do. And we can all talk about it. But yeah, that's what's happened. I want to give you that update and move on. So Lauren and Grayson, etc., also noticed that there were people out here noticing too. So Mr. Breakfast on Reddit, and I had a stream set up about it too. The victims don't know. Who knows? This is what I noticed yesterday. Here's what was behind the paywall. All right. How do you accidentally put something behind a paywall? Get the fuck out, Lauren, right? And temporarily. It was temporary. No ill intent. Yeah. We continue to care so much. Right? Okay, so there's the playlist, and as you can see, it says one unavailable video is hidden. And there are some videos that, like, the one that was not ever behind the paywall, I suppose it was ever behind the paywall, was the mysterious disappearance of Rebecca Barsotti. And that just gives you the overview of the case. But then there are some others. There are some interviews. But the ones that really interest me, and I think probably worried the family the most, I can't speak for them, but these ones. So what was in those videos that HGC would even want hidden? And this was me yesterday looking into these videos and going, what is it? And do they even really own a lot of this content? Now, I know they own the IP because they have them in videos on their channel. They uploaded them, yes, okay. But could there be a way to repurpose and make, or for the family to make their own videos out of this stuff?
Yeah, you do what we're doing. I hope. Listen, if anyone knows the Basati people, okay, if you guys are in Basati chats or anything like that, you tell them that all they need to do is speed up the interview a little bit. You got to stop, for every 2 minutes or something, and just change it. Right? You got change the creation, and that's all you have to do. They can use this. She would be an idiot. She would be an absolute idiot to strike them, right? She already saw what happened when she did it with Crusha. She had a bunch of creators that were not afraid, right? No one's afraid of this girl. She thought she had everybody fooled. Okay, not us, kids. Holy shit. This is look at even changing up like this, you can take it off for a little while. You just can't stream it like consistently. Like I can't just let Hella Stream run, right? You have to change it up some way, shape, or form. I speed them up. I will stop and just put my face and talk for a while and talk about what I think and then go back and then fast forward just so you're not watching the whole stream. You just watch like parts of it. I don't necessarily want to say what Hella's opinions are of it because we're on Amy Boston, right? So we're gonna skip over that stuff. So if you guys want to go hear about her opinions, you go give her a like. Actually, you guys go over there and like this video and subscribe and do all the things. I like her. She has great content around the hidden true crime. But you know what I'm saying? Like someone just needs to tell them, go repurpose it. You just can't play it verbatim. You know what I mean? I mean, what she did to you was dirty. Like there was no copyright there. She was in a panic. She was in a psychosis over it. Okay, she was in a psychosis. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. And Grayson, or she blamed Grayson, and Grayson copyrighted it. There was not even a copyright infringement.
Right? Especially since, okay, now it's a day later, they're out from behind the paywall. So let's think this through, guys. You can take things and you can transform them, correct? And make a new video out of it and give it to the family.
Too fast. She went in after it. Is what
wait.
Because that's all they've done. They just put a graphic on.
Okay, so this says conversation between Liz and Angela and Jerry. Okay, that's Rebecca's family, her parents. It says at the time of this recording, Rebecca Basati had been missing for nearly 6 months. No criminal investigation into her disappearance was ever opened. They said that she self-deleted.
On some audio that the family provided to them.
We went out with the dogs. One of the dogs went in the water. The water was too fast. She went in after it, is what he said. And after that, for the life of me, I can't remember. He wasn't in for very long, maybe 5 minutes, and then he left. I feel like he said I needed to come back down to get cell service and call for help. And that's all he said to me. So that is, I feel like it definitely seems like pertinent information, and I haven't seen him since.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I appreciate this because I know that this is very hard.
Right. So that says conversation between Liz. Now, Liz, it's not Liz, L-I-Z. Is Liz here today? Is Liz in chat? If Liz is in chat, oh, damn. Someone needs to find Liz. Liz is a witness. And Angela and Jerry Mastrovito, who are Rebecca's parents, found.
Yeah, Crusher says they have to transform their content by playing hidden true crime stream and stopping regularly to make it not infringing upon their rights. Right. Which is what I thought you did do that. They were panicked. She was in the Adderall psychosis. She was in the and she was bugging. She's like, you know what? I didn't think these people would ever do this to me, because no one ever, they don't think that they're ever going to get found out, or they can just pull one over on people. Right. I said this in one of my streams before. She's like so shocked that people don't like her, and that we're like, you know, turning their back to her, and like all the I like, she never thought that anyone was going to find her out or talking about her behind her back or anything like that. She never thought that listen, the lynch mob, like as soon as Turtle Boy got involved, she had a lynch mob, right? Like you don't go after Crusher. Nope, not today.
Right. On this witness called Liz themselves, and this Liz person has really pertinent information to the investigation about Rebecca's disappearance, and they audio recorded it. They have, at the beginning of the video, there is a time when they asked this Liz if it was okay if they recorded, so it was all legal, legit, above board. So they provided this audio to Hidden True Crime. Hidden True Crime went and put this graphic on it with a little Hidden True Crime logo bottom right, and uploaded it to their YouTube channel. And
of course she did. Of course she did. Do you see the one with her and Vinnie Politan recently when he was on her show? Listen, Vinnie Politan, he was convinced Karen Reed was guilty. Okay, he was convinced, or that's what he told the folks. And people here in Massachusetts called him an asshole, and they were like, "You're not doing this." Like, no, Vinny, open your eyes. You're a lawyer. You call yourself a lawyer? What's going on here? He's a fair weather reporter, right? He wants to say the most popular opinion. You know, he's like, he doesn't want to go against the grain ever. Okay. She put the Hidden True Crime logo over, was it Nancy Guthrie? Was it over her shirt or something? Like she had merch on. Remember that?
Up until about 4 hours ago, it was behind a paywall. Do you think the family would really, really like to have this? Yes?
Yeah.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Scott. My Scotty is an NYPD detective. Listen, did you ever do fraud cases, Scotty? Did you ever do fraud in the NYPD? Because I think we have a case to be made in Nevada. Do you want to be a PI with me?
Yeah. So this will be playing a phone call by Rebecca's parents here in just a second.
No, we just played it.
Oh, sorry. I'm like trying to find a bunch of stuff backstage. Sorry.
Forget it. It's cool. All right. Exhibit B, extract from court hearing. So a jury found Bassotti not guilty. This is the husband, not guilty on March 25, 2022, and his domestic abuse charges were dismissed. So this is one graphic that Hidden True Crime put up with a big logo. Okay.
This says Exhibit B, extract from court hearing. A jury found David Bassotti not guilty on March 25th, 2022, and his domestic abuse charges were dismissed. So Rebecca had a pending restraining order and DV case against him, and that's when she went missing. And his case was dismissed because she was missing. Rebecca had been missing since July 20th of 2021 and was missing at the time of the hearing, but that fact was not allowed to be shared in court. David's attorney made it a point to state that Rebecca didn't show up for her own hearing, something Rebecca couldn't have done. Rebecca's body was found weeks after, May 17th, 2022. The Mineral County sheriff's office still claims accidental drowning. No, it wasn't. During court, it was learned that David only served 4 months and 11 days in the military. He didn't even finish boot camp. The recording is from March 25th hearing.
Right. And this is just a little extract of it. And there's only a piece of this court why on their YouTube site.
Until receiving a stress fracture in his shoulder lifting weights. He then received an entry-level separation from the military. Yet on this evening, the defendant told Deputy Nobles his trigger was due to his extensive military career. Thank you for listening.
The injury was due to his extensive military career. Can you believe your ears? He didn't even make it out of boot camp. They didn't fact check this. Who's running courts these days? It's like kangaroo court.
Right. Jim, no, there's no quiz. I was just trying to get what? Not guilty because victim wasn't there to testify. That happens. Yeah. Well, there's no one here to moth code because no, it's not about claiming ownership of the audio. It's about claiming ownership of the video.
Right. It's the video.
But that's where it's a bit different because if the audio is then they probably lose because the audio first, they own it in a sense. Perhaps like a lot of people, they're confused about YouTube copyright terms of service. Oh, 100%. 100%, of course. Also, Colette, whilst you're here, do you remember whether John did any psychological evaluation component of this case? Do you remember this case at all? Because there's a video missing. They did it to Crusher. Absolutely. I mean, they lost, but they didn't necessarily lose based on the facts. They lost because Lauren's lawyers are idiots.
Yeah.
So essentially, that was the hearing of David Bassotti, who was Rebecca's estranged husband, who she was trying to get a restraining order and DV charges on, and she went missing and couldn't make the court date. And they're saying that he had a shoulder injury due to his extensive military career. And that's why he had the shoulder injury. And there, his lawyer failed to say, oh no, she didn't show up to the court because she can't, she's missing. No one said that. Right. And they're like, well, how does he have an injury? Well, because he has an extensive military career. He didn't even make it out of boot camp. They didn't even make it out of boot camp. And look, we stopped on this comment on Hellish Dreams. They did it to Crusher. They sure as hell did. I want to know how long this stuff has been behind a paywall. Probably the whole time. What does Crusher say? It says, I remember this case, and I think it's of John maybe analyzing. Yeah, probably, because he can't keep his trap shut.
I mean, Lauren's lawyers are idiots. Exactly. Put them in a playlist and then later gone and put behind. The family has flat out given to Hidden True Crime, and Hidden True Crime have gone and used them on their channel, put them in a playlist, and then later gone and put behind a paywall. And they really have only just removed them from a paywall a few hours ago because they've been called out. Exhibit C, calls, text, and photos. So, hey, Colette, thanks. I remember the case, but I can't remember if John spoke to it. The family would probably remember better than I would. They would be better to ask. Yeah, I feel really, I've never, ever contacted a family of like a murder victim, ever. I feel really, I kind of scared about it. I don't want to bother them. Yeah, I feel like a real, like a debt to them to do the right thing by them. But here's how it is. I would like to help them get new videos to put on their YouTube page. I don't want to put them on mine. I want to put them on there.
Wait a minute. This family has a YouTube page? What's the name of the channel? Because I think they only have, as far as I know, they have that group on Facebook. You know, unless they have someone that can edit and like splice all of her stuff together, I don't think that it can actually be done. Right? I mean, you know, enough. You can play the audio and just have a picture of Rebecca up, like Crusher was saying in chat. Right? Yeah, Drew K. All of this is shady as hell. This happened years ago. How long has it been behind a paywall? And I guarantee you, because of all the fallout that Hidden True Crime has received due to their unsavory behavior, they went back and looked, and boom, treated them the same way. All right.
Is so that they never have to rely to get this stuff into some sort of format out of their case references. Yeah. So I'm just curious though whether John ever did anything, because there's one video missing. I don't know if you've been here for the whole stream, Colette, but
is there anyone who pays for their Patreon? Because everything that they put on the YouTube, they put on their Patreon too, right? They put the download on the Patreon. So if anyone like currently, I mean, maybe it's already gone, but Patreon is already a paywall. It's completely paywall. You have to, I mean, you don't have to, but you know, most people are members over there, and you get, content that is unfiltered. It's not like YouTube. So maybe the lost video is tucked away in Patreon, you know?
On November 17th, a video went missing from HTC, and it's also the very same day that the playlist was edited. So yeah. Anyway, Exhibit C, calls, texts, and photos.
You know the specifics. I didn't want to send you in there without full fucking intel. Okay, there are surveillance and everything else. Like there might be people watching, so you need to make sure you cover your shit.
Rather go in late, cover at night, and just set the whole place ablaze.
Can you make it look like it was an accident?
I'll put up a fake cowboy camp. Like I'll put up like a couple cans of beans and stuff or something, with like a cowboy fire camp kind of thing going on. And I'll put like a gas team, sitting right there too, you know, right next to it. Does that make sense?
Yep. No. That
looked like it was forced enough to where you could do something like that.
Looks great. Do it. Done. Over.
I should.
And then. Yeah. Did you actually listen to what I sent you?
Hello, Jay from Hull. How you doing, handsome?
Of course I did, dude. Told you I did. Yeah, I thought it was badass. I totally understand it and I feel it.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay. So Crusher says, see, now that's always been fuzzy to me regarding Patreon, because I have Patreon and I upload vids to YouTube, but make only available to like members only vids or live streams. All are still on fucking YouTube. Yeah, so they probably download their streams from YouTube and then upload them in their members over at Patreon. Right? A lot of people, I don't know anyone who does Patreon lives. Like, does Patreon even have lives? The only person I'm Patreon of is there's a local guy, Microdots, that does documentaries on the Karen Reed case, and he's fantastic. And I pay the money. I support him over there. Grizzly True Crime has something over there, and there's like Patreon onlys where you can record it on StreamYard as recording and then upload it onto Patreon and only have it there. There isn't you can't, I don't have Patreon. There isn't a platform for Patreon to to upload to. So you can't just like upload a video on your creator studio? Because you know how like you have like a member dashboard and then you have like a creator dashboard? As far as I know, you can create or upload a downloaded video to Patreon. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to see if they're uploaded to Patreon platform via YouTube. Right. Right. But you can make you can make a video or use it or privatize it, like completely private on YouTube, and then make it go from YouTube to Patreon. My buddy does only well, no, he has YouTube too. He does do YouTube too. Richie, Microdots. But he does only releases to Patreon early. So like I get videos like 5 days ahead of like everybody else or any of his patrons do. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm aware, there is not anywhere to upload by Patreon. Well, no. Yeah, no. So you don't upload anything by Patreon. You upload it to Patreon. So you take like the video that you download, say if you downloaded this video, right? Like my stream, you could go over to your studio at Patreon and upload my video and make it private to just your members. No, you are making sense. It's confusing. I don't know the answer. That's why I'd like to know if any of us are one of the patrons and can see if they have the video still behind the paywall of Patreon. Because in the statistics of like losing all of the views and stuff of this video that was taken down off of YouTube, Patreon is not included in that, in those statistics. Like if I go to Patreon to do a Patreon only live, I have to make the arrangement on YouTube and set it up exactly like we do for members only videos. Oh, okay. Okay. If it's on Patreon, it's only I see what you're saying. So if it gets deleted off of good grief. I'm confusing myself, Crusha. It says Colette, I haven't been a member for a long time, but I don't think they used to upload every video ad free. I think they only upload bonus content, which it's used to be. And I really went there. Yeah, same. If it's on Patreon, it's also so okay. So with that being said, so if it's on Patreon, it's also on YouTube, but you can make videos private, right, on YouTube, and it can still just because it would be on private on YouTube doesn't mean it would be private on Patreon. Does that make sense? Yeah, Microdots is awesome. Richie's a good dude. He wants no credit either. He don't show his face. He don't want any heat. He's just really talented. I love that about him. I wish I'm not paying. Yes, you can make it private on YouTube. Right. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. People keep talking about this, like this missing video, right? Right. Okay. So I'm reading my phone, right, kids? I'm reading my phone. It says, yes, you can make them private on YouTube. So this is what I'm saying. Everyone's saying that there's a video missing from the Rebecca playlist of Hidden True Crime. Is there any way to check if this hidden video that's hidden on YouTube is visible to a paying member on Patreon? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I bet it is. Listen, I don't want to pay these people a fucking dime, but I might just have to. You know, Chris says you only talk about certain things on page. They're not. Yes, I agree, Crusha. I agree, girl. I agree. It says, listen, you know, that's another thing too. I always find it very cringy when people are like, oh, you know, go over to my YouTube or go over to my Patreon. I give bonus content there, the behind the scenes stuff. Like, why do people think they're that important that like people want to, them specifically, why do people want to be like, oh, I want to see what type of toothpaste Lauren uses, you know? Is Adderall good? Are they the brand name ones? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all wild to me. It's all wild to me. And this is exactly what I envisioned happening when everyone started coming forward on hidden true crime. We're talking friends, victims, family, like everything. It's going to be a snowball effect because once like you had balls, Crusher. You had the balls of steel. You had the bull balls to be like, nope, not today. Nope, I'm gonna be on my truth journey with this hoe. And you got the ball rolling and you're giving other victims like some backbone to be like, nope, nope, you're not gonna do this to me. It's very admirable what you did because I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden years later they're checking hidden true crimes videos to see what happened. Right? Right. The whole, oh, here we go, kids. The whole I feel safer behind Patreon paywall bullshit is for the birds. Yeah. How does money in your pocket make you feel safer? Like what? No, it's bait. It's a bait and switch, right? They don't they listen. I was a Patreon with them like a dog's age ago. Okay, a dog's age. I paid the $5 because I was like, oh, there's bonus content. Like, what is she swearing those? What's going on? Nope, she didn't. Everything I could see for free on YouTube was on there. They didn't make actual bonus content, right? And except for they had John's book club, which I always thought was very weird, very Candace Owens of him. We have a book club. We're gonna read books about the way people's mind work, the hidden motives, right? That's not bonus content. She puts that, yeah, she puts all her ads. Yeah. They turn into Candace Owens. Like, what's going on here? It's wild. The whole thing's wild. And I truly believe that's not a coincidence that this is happening. And I think there's going to be more people coming out. Can we think of any other cases they have done other than your family, Crusher? They did that extensively, right? They milked that. They did this case. They did the Nick Reiner case. They've started the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. They did the LeBaron, the other cult there, the offshoot of the Order, which is a offshoot of LDS, right? In my opinion, Hidden True Crimes MO is to upload a case's FOIA reports, body cams, audio files, photos, and reports behind their Patreon wall. She did it with ours. Yes, she did. And who remembers who followed the Murdoch trial? I know me and my work wife here, C. Roy, Chris, my work wife, we followed that extensively. And who remembers when she FOIA'd documents or when she FOIA'd stuff from Murdoch and they inadvertently sent her privileged information between Alec Murdaugh and yeah, right, treasure. Right. This right here. Yes. She put out the information between Alex Murdaugh and his attorneys. That could have completely derailed his case. He could have came up on appeals and been like, well, this she didn't care. They literally asked her not to put it out and she did. And then she's asking for privacy. She's asking for privacy for her fantasy restraining order, the stalking injunction. She did not upload her own cases FOIA docs. I know that much. Why? Especially someone who loves to make money off of our family's cases and FOIAs, right? But it must have been a slow month for true crime, right? They want to see my son squirming in the seat. They want to see my family's tragedy. My family. No, she sure didn't. And she won't. She won't do it because that's another thing too. Like, okay, this is like who I am as a human being when I'm talking. Christine can vouch for this, right? She works with me and I'm professional at work. Okay. But me and her, I'm not professional to her, right? I am this way 100% of the time. Okay. I swear I'm very not PC. I just say things. I have rage and regret. Like you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. But this is who I am. I was shocked because she wants to be this like cookie cutter, like I'm Mormon and don't show my neck or collarbone, and I'm married to a doctor and all this kind of stuff. She's swearing and stuff. And she's like, I try to like be a different person for my YouTube channel. Listen, the best channels for me personally are the ones where the hosts are down to earth and I feel like I'm having a cup of coffee with them. You know what I mean? I don't want them buttoned up. It's kind of why I don't watch like Annie Elise. I don't watch channels that are like too put together where it feels stuffy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, absolutely. The fantasy soccer cases. Yeah. Yeah. The fantasy soccer case. Hold on. Quack is whack. He fighting now. Carolina Amy, you are making sense. To be honest, someone has already checked Hidden True Crime Patreon for the Missing Rebecca video. Oh, really? Interesting. How fast she would try to take one of these families to court if they had a weekly show about her family court docs. Colette, we would be jammed up in the courts for months, if not years. For months, we would all be jammed up with everything. Okay. In the free Karen Read world, they're sending out cease and desist and like holding evidence subpoenas and everything for like X behavior, for Twitter behavior, because these people are fucking unhinged. Okay. Like I like Crush's channel because I can tell genuinely that's who Crusha is, right? She's kind of self-deprecating. She just like talks at you like we're having coffee, right? I love that. I love that. I like Jay for Justice because she's funny and she's like, she's like us. Lauren, you go over there. And then you got the weirdo John. I always got weird vibes from him. But I just thought to myself, like, he's just never had pussy in his entire life. And he's just so ecstatic that he got a wife, right? Kind of felt bad for him. Big channels get too neutral. Yeah, your girl is not neutral. I'm not neutral. I'll never be neutral. No, I can't. I can't be neutral. Laura Mathias could have ruined the Idaho trial also with all that Mark Means saga. Yep. Somehow Laura Mathias got a hold of Lori's mental incompetence report, if I remember correctly. She sure did because she was banging the PI. She was banging the PI, allegedly. Allegedly, she was getting it in with the private investigator that Lori Vallow's attorney hired. I forget his name. Can I Google him? What's his name? Someone give me that man's name. Yeah, me too. And she's fantastic. She is so fantastic. Yeah, and she is hilarious at times. And that's the thing too, like I got really fucked up humor. And so like, like that's something too with Hidden True Crime. That was like, we're so funny. We make jokes. No, you are the joke and you're making us uncomfortable, right? You're making me uncomfortable. Brandon, oh my God, I can't remember his last name. Hold on. Let me look, Crusher. Let me look. I'm bringing it up on the panel if I can find it. Hold on. Google. Oh, Mark. Oh my God, I just wrote goggle. Hold on. Google. Let's see here, kids. Let's see if we can find it. Hold on. Who is Lori Day Bell's private investigator? Let's see. Brandon Boudreaux's. Hold on, images. I don't see it. God damn it. Yeah, crack is whack. Exactly. Less wine, Lauren. Less wine and Zepidum. Oh my God, what the fuck is his name? There's nothing here. It's just like I asked my GPT who her investigator was, and it gave me a different name. Damn it. My friend Jay from Hull, the local celebrity. Jay, it's true. The bigger they got, the more neutral and less offensive to people. How about just keep it real and not give a fuck what people think? Yeah, but you know what, Jay? This is why we're the Bad Kids Club. This is Crusher. My friend Jay here, obviously, is an OG to my channel. We came over here with the Bad Kids Club because all the free Karen Reed channels were either completely fucking unhinged, or they were too stuffy and you couldn't talk how you wanted to talk. You couldn't be who you were. So we came over here to talk like we wanted to talk, to be bad kids, knowing like if you're here, you can't get offended. Yeah, bad kids for life. Exactly. He knows. Yeah, bad kids for life. It was too much. Okay, so next time we do a stream about it, I'm gonna ask you, and we're gonna look it up and we're gonna look at them, because I believe that she got Lori's incompetence thing, not by legal means. Now she got like Alex Murdaugh's privileged communications between him and his lawyer that could have completely changed the trajectory of that trial. She don't give a shit. She don't give a shit. She don't give a shit about nobody, right? Oh my God, here we go. Brandon Hobbs. Is it Brandon Hobbs, Colette? Oh my God, that's right. See, I thought that, is it Brandon Hobbs or Brendan? My accent, I can never tell. I can't even tell my own accent sometimes. Brandon Hobbs. Here we go. Here we go, kids. Here we go. Images. Brandon Hobbs, Lori Daybell. Hold on. I bet you there's probably like not anything in here about, like, no pictures. Wasn't she seen like shooting up in the Idaho mountains with this Brandon Hobbs fella? Wasn't she? Brandon Hobbs. Let's see. Oh my God, wait. Is this him? No, that's Boudreaux. Never mind. No, there's no picture of him. There's no picture. I'm gonna have to look for it. I'm gonna have to like really look for it. Carolina. Oh, I didn't know that Lauren was banging the PI on the Lori Daybell case, and that all makes sense to me now. Nasty ass Lauren Mathias, yeah. Just slinging around her booty. Like my cat the other day at the animal shelter. And oh yeah, in-house in school bed. Yeah, exactly. She told everyone in her 9-hour live he was her cameraman for a couple of her videos in the Rexburg area. Yeah. It was supposedly 2 videos of Lauren pointing out all the pings in Rexburg from Alex Cox's phone that day Tally was killed. Can you believe it? Carolina, his name is Rich Robinson. So but the Brandon Hobbs, I remember that name. Why do I remember that name? Oh my God, can you imagine if we look at this dude and he looks like the Oh my God, could you imagine? Rich Robinson. Let me look. Rich Robinson Daybell case. See, every time I write Daybell, it just comes up with oh my, is he an investigator in the Tyler? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, her alleged lover? I don't know. I don't know if it's alleged. Yeah. Yeah. She does make 5150 seem normal or like sisters. Hi Stella Bella. How you doing, baby? Is it Breakfast Man? No. No, he's a Redditor, I believe. I don't know who that actually is. Or is it the Breakfast Man? I don't know. I don't know who the Breakfast Man is. But the Breakfast Man has been around since Murdaugh. Hold on. Oh my God. Wait, Colette, if you look up her defense team, there are pictures of 3 men and he's shown. I know I'm sorry I'm pointed out at least on one stream. Wait. Hold on. Let's see. Lori Daybell defense team. Hold on, I'm looking, kids. I'm looking. All I see are the 2 fatties. Is he a big guy? I see the. Hold on. All I see is like the 2 big guys. I don't see a picture of 3 of them. Good grief. Oh my God, this is gonna kill me. You guys know I'm gonna be up like all night trying to find this, right? I'm gonna be up all night. Oh my God, I'm seeing your parents crush up. Breaks my heart. I mean, there's like sentencing updates. I don't think. Wasn't he something? Stella Bella, I was running in the house. Wasn't he some? Yeah, I think Jay did a show about the Breakfast Man. He could have. Yeah, the Breakfast Man is a Redditor, and I know that she specifically like cozied up to him, like specifically cozied up to him for a reason, and then started to say that because Mandy Matney was like Alar Matthias, was the Lar Matthias of the Murdaugh trial. I listened to her too. I didn't know that she was a bum. I didn't know that she was doing the dirt behind the scenes. I know she lost her job at the news place and like kind of like did her own channel, which is like fine. That's all I knew about her until this. She just keeps throwing people under the bus, right, left, and sideways. I wouldn't have known any of this shit about anybody. She did do one, but I don't know what day or what it's called because I want to go back and watch it again. Yeah, same. She streams every day. Right. Right. Marking bright breakfast innocent. Right. Right. Does anyone know the identity of bright breakfast? Are they behind Lori at her eye? So I have a picture of the Idaho sentencing. Hold on. Is this Doomsday gets life in prison without parole? Hold on. All I see is Lori's fucking mug. Ugh. Wait, right here. Hold on. Is this the one? Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen. 1 second. Right here. Share. I'm gonna make myself small. Is it this guy? So there's Chad Daybell. Okay, this is Rexburg, Idaho. Lori Vallow Daybell's bail was reduced. Her initial appearance. Is this him? Can I play it? Is that or any of these? Look at Chad just sitting there like the idiot he is. Vallow's defense attorney Edwina Elcock said, I don't see his name anywhere. I don't know why like a PA would be like on the internet though. You know what I mean? Oh, wait, there's your family question. The overflow room where Lori Hellis was banished to. I don't know. Let's see. The chunky dude next to him was catching strays. I can't stop it. I can't. That's so funny. Oh, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. Just pew, pew, pew. There was a whole period of time in Lori's 20s that are missing. What the hell was she up to? It's weird as fuck. Yep. Yep. Just like look at John Matthias. Did he just come onto the scene? Did he just come onto the scene when Lauren scooped him up on the blind date talking about murderers? Oh, he was part of the new team. Okay. Yeah. It was hella, yeah, hella streams every day too, and it's hard to get through her stuff. Like I have to, before I could watch things real time, I can only watch things at night now, and so I can't really remember like what I'm hearing when anymore. Helen Dolly, yeah, Dolly's cute as a button. Just want to like pinch his cheeks. Yeah, the whole this whole mess is absolutely wild, and you know it's like hindsight is 2020. Where like you always knew something was off, right? You always knew something was off with Lauren, right? And she seemed infatuated with Lori Daybell. And I always found it to be odd, but I'm like, maybe she's mastering her craft. You know, like Johnny Depp gets into roles and plays that character forever until he's done with the role. Like he did an interview one time and he played the gangster or whatever in the movie Blow. Do you guys remember the movie Blow? And he killed the Boston accent. Okay. He killed it. He killed it with the Boston accent. He did so well. And he said he had to stay as a Bostonian the whole time he did the show. He couldn't stop the accent because he was afraid he was going to lose it. And so he just stayed in character. I thought that about Lauren with Lori Daybell. But now I just think she's like fucking Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill. Just want to skin her and wear her. It was a live stream Jade did when she was digging into Trisha on web sleuths. I remember that much. And got into Jesse territory, which blew my mind and also made sense. Oh my God. Lauren even admitted to saying amen after Chad's patriarchal blessing to Alex when played in the Idaho courtroom. Can you even imagine who admits that? Our girl Lauren does that. So yeah, Lauren Matthias does. No shame. She's like, yeah, preach it. And who she's talking about those like those books that those wackadoodles like Julie Rowe writes or Chad wrote for her, right? All those books they put out, all the other prepper books. Do you think she had never, ever, ever heard of that shit before? I never read them. I never believed that. I was like, girl, you know these existed. You know preppers. You know the Visions of Glory. Thank you. You know she read that. She knew it cover to cover. Yeah. Celebella, I watch her too. Absolutely. She does. I mean, the thoroughness she has for investigating this cult and all the bad doings, and she goes down the rabbit hole. She peels back the onion, and it's fascinating. It's scary and fascinating. She told Kobe she would be friends. She told Kobe she would be friends with Lori. Yeah. I believe that too. They would have been BFFs. They would have been doing the seances together. Fucking Lauren and Lori in the closet portals. I have definitive proof she knew about the fringe people. Of course she did. They all do. It's just like when you talk shit about Mormons, right? And they're like, "Oh no, we're not one of those Mormons. We're not the polygamous Mormons." Like, are you sure? Are your cousins? Are your uncles? Are your aunts? Right? Yeah. Like this is something I don't know if I've ever said this before, but like with John, right? I remember thinking like she would make fun of Chad Daybell being a sack of potato, unattractive, just a blob, right? And I'm like, but like you're, and she would laugh, and John did not find that funny. He would glare at her on camera, and she'd be like, hee. She was dogging John because they're very similar. According to my source, she is friends with Lori, at least via pen pals with her while she's in prison. Yep. And I bet she puts money on her books. I bet she puts money on her books. Can you imagine? Like, not for nothing. Like, I follow a lot of crime. Okay. Like, I'll watch like the worst shit and go right to bed. Okay. It's terrible. Some shit keeps me up, but like that like finding the picture of the PI is going to keep me up tonight. I've never like been like I'd be friends with Eileen Warnos, Monster, the female. Yeah, blood makes my skin crawl. The serial killer that like killed Oliver Johns, and she got the happy cocktail in Florida in the 90s. I would not like, does she fascinate me? Yeah. But I first I wouldn't want to hang out with her. And I certainly wouldn't have been friends with her by any stretch of the imagination. Exactly. Her husband ran a troubled teen camp. Yep. It's deeply distressing. I know that sounds dumb, but definitely different. And to have different values, never mention things, feels deceptive. Yeah. They never brought that stuff up. And I know I've talked about this before, but I was like a very rebellious young lady. Is that a shocker, kids? Is that a shocker? I got sent to one of those camps. Okay. My mother did her best. She had no idea what to do with me. And she's like, well, maybe if I put this city girl in the woods in Vermont with a bunch of fucking other wackadoodles, maybe she'll come home a changed person. No, I came home more traumatized and angrier, right? It's their abuse, all of them. They're all abusive. And he put kids there. Can you believe he thought that putting autistic kids in these camps was like it would heal them? Sir. It was Hella who did a show a few weeks ago about the Breakfast Man. Yeah, she really loves the Breakfast Man. And she won't disclose his identity, which is fine. I don't need to know it, but I'd like to. How would you feel if you found out the same people who arranged and offered a free memorial service for Tylee and JJ are the same ones who struck up a pen pal relationship with your family's killer? The amount of hurt, deception, the amount of rage I would feel, Crusha. Could you? I mean, you can imagine how can you even wrap your brain around something like that? You can't, because it's not betrayal. Yes, betrayal. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It's betrayal. It's betrayal. How are the same people who believe sperm has healing qualities? Oh my God, because they're soaking. You know, Lauren and John only soak, right? And they have Grayson banging the bed with her two hobbit feet, trying to give some motion to the ocean. That's what I heard happens at BYU. Near death experience, Carolina, always a pleasure, honey. Near death experience books sold a lot of books back then, and maybe two. Yeah, They probably still do sell them. Well, mainly out of curiosity, because they're like, well, what are these people reading? None of them ever had, right? Never. I would, yeah, Stella, I'd blow a fucking gasket. I'd be the one in jail, right? I mean, I say that, but like meaning like that's how angry I would be. That's how Stella. Yeah, that's where fucking her face is so shiny and stiff. Yeah, it's certainly not John's cocktail, if you know what I mean. Yeah, nothing can compare to the amount of betrayal that Crusher and her family and Kobe and all them. I was like, could you imagine sitting there and being like, I would adopt you as my son while you're giving this kid's murder mother money on a book so she can have a TV in her cell. Talking about the Epstein camps. Hold on. Oh, honey, this is another rabbit hole. No, Scotty, my NYPD husband, you know that I'm never rated G. I'm never a rated G. This is rated mature. Talking about the Epstein camps for autistic children. These are the same people who I study in the Hoblin case. The same inverted people as perverted people. Plus they tied him too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's all connected. It's all connected. It's one big sex ring. It's one big cult. Cause even like, talking about the Epstein files and shit like that, like it doesn't matter what views you have politically. It doesn't matter what views you have religiously, right? A scumbag's a scumbag, right? And like for instance, like back in the day, being a Catholic, Roman Catholic, like yeah, thank God for Virginia DeVray. She ended up tragically dead by supposed self-harming. I don't believe that. Yeah, you are immature. I love you, Scott. It doesn't matter what political, what religious, being Catholic, Roman Catholic. Like I believe, when I pray to the God that I grew up knowing. Right? I grew up to the God that like I went to Catholic school a lot of my life. I was an altar server. My father was very, 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 very Irish Catholic, very religious. We had to walk to church. I had to get up during Lent to go to 7 a.m. mass before school at my Catholic school, like very religious. And the Catholic Church would hide behind, well, gay is bad. So a lot of these gay men became priests, and then they had to hide the fact that they were gay. So they started diddling children. No. They're degenerates. Okay. They use their religion and what's not allowed and what is allowed and what is shameful and not shameful to mask their pervertedness. That's what they did. It's not because of anything like that. Like I have like I said, old school Roman Catholic. I have gay uncles, right? It's yeah. Yes, Crusha, and you have uncovered multiple videos about this. It's taught and inflicted abuse. Yeah. Yeah. $1. What should it be when I grow up? Yeah. Chris says there's definitely the biggest story here behind Lori and Chad's murder spree, yet Lauren prides herself as an investigative journalist and she did not report any of these things I have found. No, she didn't want to. Because Crusha, she didn't like the fact that you had more attention, that you were able to get as much of attention as you did. I think that's one reason. And two, she did not want you unearthing her religion as much as you have, right? And I like how you say, like, there's a bigger, it's like the John Benet Ramsey stuff, right? People always focus on the murder of John Benet Ramsey, right? But when I started becoming friendly and having Frank Zell on my panel every Sunday, I go over the John Benet Ramsey case. I didn't even unpack the the fallout of the John Benet Ramsey case is a drop in the bucket of a much bigger fucking problem. Okay. This was happening to several children, to hundreds, and it was the elite, and they were all in on it, and they also belonged to the church, right? Saint John's Church in Boulder, right? It was a Christian Catholic church or whatever, and they all like flocked to this one area, and they used this as like a pipeline to do satanic shit to kids, and they would do it on vacation weeks because the kids would heal before they had to go back to work or back to school. And yeah, like the whole it was not Catholic. Okay, so but it was Christian, right? It was a Christian one. I think St. John's, I think Christian, because I have a St. John's in Boston that I've attended, and it's Catholic. Yeah, girl. Actually, I'm on X, and he was posting stuff earlier with like Lex. His last name is escaping me. But he like runs Ohio. They're all in cahoots. They're all in fucking cahoots. And it has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with degenerate fucking people with weird proclivities to children. Control. It's a whole thing. It makes, I've, just thinking about it right now, like, did bad shit happen to Lauren when she was younger? She said that she was like the ugly duckling and that she never felt pretty, and she never this and that. Like, people also will prey on that. They know this girl doesn't feel good about herself, and they're going to show her attention, and they're going to do all this kind of stuff. Like, did the LDS church do that to her? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every facet of our society. Did you guys see Pam Bondi in front of Congress yesterday trying to sidestep Congress, talking about the Epstein files, and she's just coming back with, well, our Dow has never been better. You are a mother. You are a mother, Pam Bondi. What if those victims that you wouldn't turn around and face and say I'm sorry to? What if that was your daughter or your son? There was a man that stood up as a victim of Epstein and his co-conspirators. Did you guys notice that? There was a male that stood up. She couldn't even turn around. She couldn't even be bothered. Darkly Dawn, always good to see you. Yeah, I was balls deep in the Congress hearing last night. Okay, my earbuds on till like 3 a.m, just like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. This girl, I've never seen someone simp for holy shit. Oh my god. Parents purposely inflict abuse, whether it be sexual or physical, and mental, emotional, on their children to purposely fracture their brains in order to be the inverted claw. Yeah, 100%, Kresha. They break their children to mold them into exactly what they want. It's disgusting. Well, and then, too, did you guys watch the Kash Patel Congress hearing when he was talking about the Epstein files, and he said that he looked through every single one. There was nothing to see here. Right? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Yeah. She said weeks ago there would be no more arrests in Epstein. Yeah. Okay, so let's play devil's advocate for a minute. We have to think too that if she is a mother, and Savannah Guthrie's mother went missing right after the Epstein files come out, and she's interviewing all the living victims of Epstein for years, right? That Guthrie girl who supposedly allegedly took her own life, I don't think that happened. I think that she was unalived. in the way that there was intent behind it, right? Made it look like an accident, because there's a lot of things around the Clintons that look like an accident that are not, right? She's probably scared shitless. She's probably scared shitless to go against these people. Right? Right. Don't get me started on the Guthrie. Yeah, honey. Like, what's that? It seemed planned. It seemed like a message, Scotty. And it makes people like Lauren, in my opinion, more performative. Like Lori, go on and do those things that they do. Yep. It's mind control of the most horrible kind. They've sharpened it over the last decades. They sure have. And it's all the same playbook, Russia. Yep. It's all the same playbook. It's like a narcissist playbook. Like, they can't all know each other. Just how these people are fucking wired. Everyone's probably scared shitless, including the president. The president comes out and he's probably like, what have I got my, not saying he's a good dude. I'm not sticking up for him, because that was nothing to do. Pam Bondi couldn't even admit how many times that President Trump was named with video. How many times he was named in the Epstein files, right? A lot of egos and not a lot of experience. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a great point, honey. That we see that a lot, especially even in YouTube's, right? Which to us came off as, oh, it's a doomsday cult thing, which is more than that. Yeah, exactly, honey. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so funny you say that, right? Tomorrow I work later hours now, and I'm lucky that I have a great family that are able to help me. And I low jack my son. I was a latchkey kid. I was out running amok. Okay, my son's not going to do that. I'm not allowing sleepovers. I'm not none of that. Okay, I've taken away Roblox. I have, because I know too much, right? And I have a like a chip. My son, I track him. He has a tracker on him, and my sister has to come get him tomorrow until I got to work after he gets out of school. And I gave her the app so that she could track him too. And I'm like, if you need him, here he is. He's gonna, like, I chip my kid essentially, because no, fuck that. No, like, you want better for your own kids. And I was watching some comedian the other night. That was like a short, and he was like, people are like, oh, it's so unsafe nowadays. It's, it's so this, it's so that. Like, I wish that my kids grew up the way we grew up. No, it was just as unsafe back then, but our parents didn't know any better. Like, I would leave the house in the summer. I would leave the house like 8 a.m. and not come back until like 9:30 at night. I would drink out of the hose so I didn't have to go in. My mother would be like, you're either in or you're out. Don't keep slamming my door. And I'd stay out. And it wasn't less dangerous back then. It was just less known. And like, shit happened. They had no idea. There wasn't cell phones. I didn't have a pager until I was like 16 or something. They had no idea where I was. No idea. That's why others who are a part of the same cult, who came in and led credibility to others leading head. Yeah. Preach, Crusher. Yeah, he has the watch, and I track him, and I mean, I can pinpoint when he's outside waiting for the bus at his school. Stranger danger. Yeah, this misinformation campaign. We all know that's not at all true, but here we are learning and shit. Yeah, the stranger danger thing. Listen, the boogeyman's never someone that you don't know, right? That's where the grooming comes in. The boogeyman is the helpful neighbor. The boogeyman is the father at the sleepover, or the uncle, the weird uncle that has nowhere to stay, and he's crashing on the couch at a sleepover. He's the guy, lurking around the high school. He's the guy on Roblox. He's the woman teacher in 6th grade where your son is 6'1". He looks like a grown man in 6th grade, and the Hartford teacher wants to sleep with them. That's the boogeyman. Yeah, just like Stop, Drop, and Roll. What was that going to do? What was that going to do? The coach, the priest, exactly, Ski Utah, exactly. It's all of them. It's all of them. The Boy Scouts, it's your scout leader, right? It's all of these people. Are there boogeymans? There fucking certainly are. Look at Brian Koberger. He was the definition of what we are told the boogeyman is. But the real boogeyman is the coach, the priest, your brother, your sister, your father, your uncle, your it's all the people. You know, your kid's boogeyman could be the wrong guy you bring home and fall in love with, right? The one who's grooming both you and your kids. Shit's wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I always see Ski Utah in Hellish channel all the time. It's always I love that you guys are here. I feel like I'm always in chats with you guys. This is where we come to talk shit and have a cup of coffee together. I think someone in that Epstein files list in FOIAs are responsible for Nancy Guthrie. Yeah, kidnapping to look away from. Yeah, I agree. They wanted everyone to look. Wasn't it convenient that they were doing this like all this hoopla with the Guthrie case with the video and the all of a sudden there's videotape of this man or woman, 12 days later when Pam Bondi is in front of Congress trying to answer. Well, she was not answering anything, but she was in front of Congress. I don't believe in coincidence. There's no such thing. Okay, people are fucking calculating. Yeah, Ski Utah. Yeah, the whole thing is absolutely insane. Lauren is no better, and this is what I say too. Like, if you know something, like with the Epstein stuff, not everybody listed. Not everyone listed on those Epstein files are necessarily a pedophile or eating human flesh or maiming girls because they have weird kinks, right? No, not all of them. But just like Diddy and R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein, whatever the hell his name is, they all had handlers. They all had people like that knew and turned a blind eye. I find those people just as culpable as the ones who are actually doing it. Just like the people who watch CSAM, they're like, well, I've never touched a kid, but I like watching it. You are the problem. Okay. When you consume that, you tell the people making it that you want more. You are the problem. Psyops, yeah, are everywhere. Yeah. Crusha, are you into the Charlie Kirk thing? Listen, I've been afraid to talk about Charlie Kirk, but I am, I'm not afraid, but I'm not political, and it turns very political with these people. But look at that, right? I truly worry. Yeah, right. Well, I did a stream about John analyzing Nick Renner's whatever he was analyzing. There was nothing really to analyze, but it's like, why don't you worry about the four walls of your home in your son's psyche and how he's going to grow up and be when he's older, okay? Because it's all fun and games when they're 5 and 8 and they still want to play with GI Joes, and they retain a lot, right? They retain a lot. Why don't you worry about your son and stop worrying about Nick Reiner? Oh, and then Laura made a dig about Alan Jackson being his defense attorney, and then Alan got out of there. I really just don't think that he would have had enough money to be paid, and there was probably other things there, but she kind of made like a dig, like, yeah, Alan Jackson. And this was after Turtle Boy had been doing the expose on Laura Mathias, and it was just like, yo, Alan Jackson is a great attorney. He's a defense attorney. That's his job, right? That's a job. The truth is, we don't know how Tylee succumbed to her death. That's right. That's right, Crusha. And I've said this since day one, since I found out how she was found. I think she could have been consumed. I feel terrible even saying that. Yeah. But listen, Crusha, I saw a short or some type of video of Roseanne Barr, and she was talking about these psychos eating babies, eating flesh, and people call it crazy, and they would say all these crazy things about her, but she wasn't wrong. This was back in the late 90s. She was talking about this. Yeah. It's part of the same movement run by Glenn Beck. Yeah. 100%. They always say the only difference between a conspiracy and a conviction is 6 months. Right? I don't know how you live through it. I mean, Crusha, how that's like I've always like when I was up on panel with you one day, I wanted to ask, but I didn't know how. Like people go through really bad things in life and it's tough, right? But I can't, like, my brain can't even go to what you have lived. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it is so far outside of the box of like what real life or anyone should have to go through. Like, how do you even get through that? And then you add on top this Laura Matthias doing this, like my heart just aches for all of you, because I can't even get myself to the place to even think about what you guys had to go through and what you guys had to find out and what you had to deal with. And then on top of that, you're being re-victimized by greedy fucking Botox filled hoes, right? Yeah. Their tactics are always the same. Smear the whistleblower. Yep. The person trying to advocate for them. Yep. And elevate the perps. Yep. Right. Does time heal all wounds? Does time really make it less? Does time make it less? Like, I don't know, right? I hope I never have to find out. I hope none of us. I'm sorry that you had to find out what that felt like, right? But this is what tells me that Laura Matthias and them don't have any sympathy or actual like love in their heart for anybody, because how could you do the things that she did and then knowing what I just like I can't. Look how long 50 Cent, Cat Williams, Kanye West have all been warning us. Yep. And Jaguar Wright. And Jaguar Wright. People will call, they were locking her up. They were 51-50ing her forever. Inpatient, making her be on medication because they said that she's great. No, she was telling the truth, but people didn't want to believe these things about their heroes. People need to have better heroes. People need to look up to better people. Stop looking up to the Jay-Z's of the world. Stop looking up to the sports players. Stop, get better heroes. That's why I look at like some of these gems. They treat Lauren and John like gods. No, they put their pants on one foot at a time like the rest of us. It's wild. Until I researched for myself, I was one of the opinion that what happened to my family was not just Chad and Lori and Crazy Alex. It's far more people involved than even the people in my inner circle. Yeah, honey. Can I ask you something? Researching it and kind of getting context to try to reconcile what happened to JJ and Tylee, and did that help to kind of like calm down the anxieties that you felt? Do you know what I'm going with that? Like, did researching it help you contextualize it in your brain to be able to be like, okay, now I have a better understanding. Do you know what I mean? Because I really, I just don't know. Wendy Williams? Yep, that's right. That's why I say Lauren looks at me and Nate Eaton look at me as a threat to their belief system. Girl, preach it louder for the assholes in the back. I wasn't their typical girl little victim. Yeah, you were not. And I said to you when I was on film with you, like I noticed that she was all over your parents and stuff, and it wasn't you. It's because you were exposing her belief system. Lauren knew all this stuff was happening. The blood atonement, stop it. John Matthias was way off about Nick Rena's analysis. Yeah, garbage. Yeah. John should never work with children or addicts ever. My opinion. Yeah, poor Wendy Williams. They did the same thing to Wendy Williams as they did to Jaguar Wright. The gems are a cult. Just like, I mean, free Karen Reed. You look at that shit now. That it's very cultish. My research. This is okay. Crush's answer. My research has brought me to a better understanding of the actual problem and can focus on this versus what the mainstream narrative says it is. I love that. I love that. I love that you took a big tragedy and you gained knowledge and share this with the internet and share this with people. Because maybe you'll save a victim in the future, right? Like listen, I am team the right thing. Okay. Like I can like somebody and not agree with what they're doing, right? You look at, I'm just like at lost for words about Lauren, man. I don't know how to verbalize what I think her part has to do with the LDS, right? I think that even if it wasn't said, I think that the church, quote, like I'm using quotations right now, the church reached out to her, meaning like really high ups in the church, like in Nate Eaton, and said, you guys gotta make sure this pot doesn't boil over. You know what I mean? And Crusher, you were the boiling pot. Because they didn't want people to look. They didn't want people to see under. Yeah, they do. Yeah, the Matthiases protect them. They sure do. Yeah. Yeah, she is a money grubbing piece of shit. The church is happy as long as she donates the money. Yeah. What do they call it? Tithing? 10%? Does anyone know if she's really making that McMansion up in the mountains? Could you fucking imagine? Yeah, I believe they're being paid. Well, even if they're not being like paid by quote unquote the church, they're getting some type of benefit out of it. Does anyone know about that PR firm Idaho paid? No. I don't know either. I don't know if she was put up by the church or it's being conditioned by I think the latter. I don't think it's the actual church. I think it's just her upbringing. But one and the same, right? She's her mind control from the church is reflected in her behavior. My opinion. Look at her family. She has a family full of fucking criminals. I didn't realize too until I started like looking into stuff. All the LDS people hate the government. They don't want police coming in. They don't want none of that. But they're all fucking criminals. That's right. Stella Bella, I think the latter too. Yeah. Tithings. Shit's wild. All right, guys. We've been on for 2.5 hours. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's been an amazing night. I was just like a random whim and look where we got. These are like the best streams. I love having coffee with you folks. Maybe I am going out for surgery and I'll be out for a month of work. And so you guys are going to get a lot of me coming up. You're going to be getting a lot of Amy Boston and hopefully cover more of this. This is the fascinating shit that I would love to cover because like Crushy was saying earlier, and I've said about John Benet Ramsey, unfortunately, there is a bigger picture than what we actually see. And watching Crush's channel, you will completely understand what you mean by what she means, or I mean, or whoever. I mean, there is so much more happening that eggs all of this shit on. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. No, not every day. No, I'm not an everyday person. I barely make it here for the streams that I actually put together. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stream on Friday night. No, I come back on Friday at 4:00. Yeah, the Bad Kids Club. Yeah, this is the Bad Kids Club. This is where all the bad kids from class ended up. We're at detention because we're the bad kids. I'll schedule a scream tomorrow night to go over Hellas. Yes, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Send me around the same time. If you can do like 8:30, I could totally do it. My son will be asleep and have my undivided attention. I'm Eastern time. I think you are too. You're down in Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have the live with that question that caused the little glasses toss? Oh my God. Wait, do you have the live? Hold on. Oh, do you want me to play it? Really? Hold on. Let me look. It was a response video. Hold on. Hidden true crime response. Let's see. Is this the, oh my God, it's right here. Here, kids. I found it. We're gonna have to for a minute. I gotta put my earbuds on. Hold on. God. Cause hold on. I'm sharing my screen. Hold on here. Share. All right. I'm gonna put me little because you don't need me. All right.
The child, here's Bloom, the child is presumably stressing that this sort of behavior reflects a deeper aspect of Gabriel's nature. So what Bloom is saying that's of interest here is that if a child is on the playground, let's say we don't know the context, right? Let's say that
hold on
was the Brad Pitt has this body of work, which is indisputably good, right? He's got this body of work, and he's becoming an actor that's mastering his craft. That's why I'm interested in the guy. Like, I love watching people master a craft.
You always say, make good art.
Right. I love excellence, right? And so I strive for that myself.
Says the valedictorian who got accepted to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Columbia, and
no, he didn't. Shut the fuck up. No, he didn't.
Said no to most of them. Sorry. I'm going to brag. But he's not a real psychologist, guys. Just pretend.
I love
people. Go ahead. Sorry.
I love people that strive for excellence. I see Brad Pitt as fitting that.
He didn't write a thesis. He did not go. He went to Southern California for his fucking PhD. Lauren, calm the fuck down. He did not get into Harvard. This man would never have survived in the state of Massachusetts. Not a fucking day.
That mold, right? And so when she shifts this debate into makes it a moral crusade, there's a big problem. And that problem is that Brad Pitt's body of work and the quality of his work are indisputably good. I mean, you know what? Some critics may disagree with me. I'm sure there's critics that hate Brad Pitt. They think he's a hacked actor, but I'm not one of those, right? And so if the goal is to cancel Brad Pitt, and you're a fan of Brad Pitt, like I am, my response to that was, okay, maybe he's got some problems in his personal life. You know, maybe he, whatever, I'm not excusing it. Maybe he feels overwhelmed by having all these kids, a massive career, be one of the biggest stars in the world. Like you and I.
I think he's admitted to alcoholism. He's struggling with addiction.
Right.
He's certainly not perfect. He's got some issues.
You and I are.
His life is messy.
You and I are such.
You're fucking messy, ho. You're messy.
Whatever the celebrity scale is, you and I are like a pittance compared to Brad Pitt, right? I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we're not a thing.
I can't even imagine the stress and expectations and criticism this guy has to deal with, right? Like, I don't think any of us can imagine that.
Mm-mm.
I can't imagine that for Taylor Swift, like some of the biggest stars in the world. The Rock, I don't know how they handle all this stuff.
I don't either.
I really don't, right? So like,
YouTube's enough for me.
So my thing is, so this is happening. You know, there's stuff before about affairs, and I'm just like,
oh, an affair, you say? Oh, an affair. Yeah, right. Yeah, trying to compare herself. Oh my God, she's Angelina Jolie, don't you know? I have no idea what the question was. I wish I knew what it was too. I don't think you're wrong for questioning the legitimacy of the question or if it was planted. Yeah. These fucking people. Oh my God. Imagine being friends with her. Ugh.
The guy does good work.
Lauren doesn't.
I love the fact that this guy is trying to master his craft, right? What I care about is the quality of his work.
His art, his craft.
The quality of his work. And so I think it's interesting that in our current, it's interesting that like Brad Pitt being accused of abuse in 2016, that the situation you're in, this whole smear campaign from the start, that every bit of this is about a moral referendum on you and your character. Every bit of this is become a moral crusade, right? And what I find fascinating about that is that this debate is not happening in the realm of, oh, what's the quality of Lauren's work? What's the quality of Hidden True Crime's work, right? Like,
there's none.
I can argue with Brad Pitt, for example.
There's no quality to her work. She uses other people and their fucking credentials to get by. She's not even a pretty face. Her face is fake. Michael Jackson. I'm gonna start calling her Michelle Jackson.
Example, that this attempt to shift the debate to this moral crusade, to this moral issue, but it's certainly an attempt to shift the debate away from his work as an artist and an actor to something else, to something about his character, to something about his morals and his right. And the question is, so, and by the way, with you weren't accused, you've never done anything like that ever. Like, you've never done anything wrong.
Well, my eyebrows are a sin.
Right. Yeah, you may have to shave those. You know, we've received.
I love myself some Botox.
We've received.
Oh my God. Do you want to know what the date of this is? You want to know the date of this? I'm confused. I just got into the chat. My StreamYard chat's all fucked up. I want to get to the glasses throwing.
Some emails, I think. I want to read a comment we received by Pinata Samurai. I love that name, by the way. Thanks, Pinata Samurai.
This is a comment.
This is a comment that I love that summarizes this whole thing up. We received a brilliant text a brilliant message in comments from one of our viewers. And here's what Pinata Samurai said.
Love the name, by the way.
I know. Pinata Samurai. It's so great. Next time I go to a pinata party with our son, I'm going to call myself Pinata Samurai. Quote, even if you were the devil himself, I'd still watch you. You're brilliant at what you do.
Wait, I just caught this. Did you notice how he said the next time I go to a party with our son, I'm going to call myself Pinata Samurai? He didn't say the next time we go. He said the next time I go. Words matter.
You and your husband both. Right? And so the reason that's relevant
I'm not the devil.
The reason that's relevant, I know you're not the devil. It's making a point. Obviously, you're not the devil. Only when you lock me in my cage in the garage. The reason why that's brilliant is because I think it really gets to the core of this debate, just like Brad Pitt, right? Why isn't anybody debating this on the terrain of our work? Why is this being litigated as a moral referendum, right? And there's another question in here. If you're going to engage in a moral crusade, which is what all the people in the smear campaign have done, if you're going to do that, you're going to have some moral authority, right? The other
Ski Utah, I can't bring up any comments on my StreamYard right now. However, they both need the 5150. They need the jacket that makes them hug themselves. Okay, they need the locked unit. Look at them. Look at her. Look how self-righteous. Look, glaring down the barrel of the camera, like, that's right. Isn't he so smart? No, he looks like fucking Shrek. Okay, and he didn't get his PhD at Princeton, and certainly not Harvard, ma'am. Certainly not Harvard. He wasn't smart enough.
part of engaging in a moral crusade is you need probably some bank account, some credits, some moral credits to bolster your position, right? Like, and think about that with your situation, right? Like, does someone who was kicked out of the Daybell trial for violating a number of court regulations multiple times, does that person have moral authority?
Yeah, because your wife's the one that got her fucking kicked out. You fucking weirdo. You weirdo.
To comment on your character?
I'm not going to say.
How about this? Somebody who took your phone without your consent and went through your phone and the financials that were in your phone. This person knew that they were never to access their financials. That's our business. That person gets in your phone, looks at your financials without your consent. Does that person have the moral authority to engage in a moral crusade to ruin you? Or how about this? Someone who makes comments on a TikTok about your brother in a coma and how you want.
But John, she was making comments about milking her brother. Okay. You might not have been there, but it happened. Listen, all of this is not aging well with what we have all seen. Okay. This is not aging well. It didn't age well. The fuck is he talking about?
Want to non-consensually try to obtain your brother's sperm. Does that person have the moral authority to engage in a moral crusade to ruin your character?
Yeah.
Or how about this?
Yeah, it does.
Somebody who follows you around the courthouse, videotaping you, video recording you, constantly getting in your face, and because of that type of behavior, is not allowed to attend the memorial service that you put on.
I
organize.
participated in helping organize. My dear friend actually.
Does that person have the moral authority to engage in this moral crusade against you, right? So my point is that if you're going to engage in a moral crusade, you better be squeaky clean.
No, John, you know what? I am on this moral crusade. And you know what? I'm not perfect. And I'm able to admit that. Okay. I have raged and regretted on YouTube more than I can fucking count. Okay. I am a recovering drug addict. I have a son outside of wedlock. I swear like a sailor. But you know what? You know what I don't do? I don't victimize fucking murder families. I don't do that. That's what I don't do. There's a proverbial line in the sand that you don't fucking cross. And you know what? You guys are habitual line steppers, not just with the Woodcocks and Crusher. And nope, not just with them. It's bad. You did it mainly to them, but we are finding out that you do it to a lot of fucking people. And your wife was recorded saying how much she hates your fucking marriage, that she never wanted to be a mother, that she thought that she could fix her life by marrying you. You sold her a dream. She knew you didn't want to work. And she said, you're disappointing. How does that feel, John Matthias? Okay. You better be squeaky clean. No, come at me. I dare you. I can out mean girl you. Okay. You didn't go to Harvard. You did not get your PhD. And did you guys notice how he became the Princeton educated fucking doctor? No, you're a PhD and you got your fucking PhD in California. It was not a Princeton. You were not in the Northeast. And as far as you know, the one thing that was interesting to me, I found out he's a silver spoon fed baby. He comes from one of the richest pots. He's lived, not only does he live off of Lauren, he's lived off his parents until she came into the fucking picture. Miss me with this. Miss me.
And like, my point is that we all have flaws.
You're getting to the parable in the Bible, whoever hasn't sinned, cast the first stone. It's a good one.
We all have flaws. We all have imperfections. And so people make mistakes. You've made some mistakes here. You've acknowledged that. The question is that if you're going to engage in this type of moral crusade, that at some level you're going to need some moral authority to do that. And what does that even mean? I mean, I could talk for the next 5 hours about what moral authority means. We could talk about morality. I won't. I'll just say this.
Morality to everyone is different, right? What is moral and what isn't?
I'll just say this,
that each person.
that
what's moral and what isn't. What's moral is going into this with the right intentions and not making money off of other people's tragedy and completely trashing them and ruining their fucking lives even more than it has already been ruined by the shit that has happened to them. And all you do is make money and talk shit, and you manipulate and you pin people against each other. You use people up until they're unfucking usable, and then you dispose of them. Or you just don't fuck with them at all because they're bad for your rep. Okay? You are not the moral high ground. Okay? I'll take my fucking drug addict past. I'll take my potty mouth over having no fucking integrity in life. You got no, what do they say? If you don't stand for something, hold on, if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. What's that saying? These are these fucking people. Okay, these are these. Look at the face on her. Look at the eyelashes beaten down. She has more eye glue and mascara on. I'm surprised her eyebrows aren't weighted down. Yeah, I'll make you cry, Stella Bella.
moral authority is derived from a couple of places. It's derived from your behavior, and it's derived from the community in which that behavior occurs, right? You get moral authority because the community confers it on you for either good or bad behavior, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting that everyone involved in the smear campaign is claiming this moral high ground, and they're claiming this moral authority to engage in this smear campaign and bullying and stalking against you because they're morally correct, right? Because they're right.
Hey, Cape Cod boss, did you stop at Cuffy's for me and get me some saltwater taffy? I see you mentioning it in the old chat. I'll go to Cuffy's right now and get some saltwater taffy. Don't play with me.
They're going to show, they're desperately trying to show that you've done something wrong, that you're a bad person, and you should be canceled.
Yeah, well, and how about also someone is either all good or all bad? I mean, that's what you were saying at the beginning of this.
That gets into psychological essentialism. Okay. Exactly.
Yeah, psychological
so it's like the fourth grader. It's like the fourth grader watching.
The 4-year-old.
I mean, I'm sorry, I meant the 4.
Yeah, even worse.
It's like the 4-year-old watching a little child punch another kid. Maybe Gabriel had a bad day, and then coming to the conclusion that's a herder. This is a version of that. And by the way, part of the reason that's important is because there is a tremendous amount of
Stella Bella, I want 90-degree weather in the fucking boardwalk. That's what I want from New Jersey.
Maturity here, right? Like these smear people are engaged. We've seen so many comments about this, that how childish this is, how middle schoolish this is, right? And it's almost like you're taking that 4-year-old and you're showing the 4-year-old one text that may have been a little snarky, and the 4-year-old's coming to the conclusion, oh, that's a herder, right? It's a similar dynamic.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of issues here that are worth talking about. One is that there's a deliberate.
Crusha, I love that she just said that. She said canceled or found out and exposed is more like it. That's right. Say it louder for fucking cinder block heels in the back. Yo. He just needs to cut those fucking things off and take his wife's eyebrows with him.
Deliberate attempt here, I think, to shift this debate away from your work, our work, the quality of our work. Mm-hmm. Like technically, Brad Pitt, I don't really care what's going on in his personal life. I'm just interested in his mastery of acting and his journey towards mastery. And I've been invested in that for a long time. As a matter of fact, I have a quote from a critic. This is recently. So Brad Pitt did a recent movie called F1, which I love, by the way. I thought he was great. I mean, it wasn't much of a stretch for him. It was probably a very easy role, but he was fantastic. I love the movie. It was exciting. Anyway, it was about canceling him, essentially. And here's what she said.
Okay. Amber, my girl, it's always good to see you. Coming in hot late night. Love it. Yeah, she's been doing the Gypsies stream. It's fucking incredible. That talk about a story. They played this as a premiere over the top of my live stream. I was in your live stream when this was going on. I remember people were like, they're live, and they weren't live. It was a premiere, and I went back and watched this after. Fucking losers. Thank you, Calypso, for putting that in.
She's like, quote, "It isn't that people don't believe what happened to Jolie on that plane.
You guys go over and sub to ATS News too. Dynamite.
It's just that they don't care." And why is that important? Because what this critic is saying is the people understand that the humans make mistakes. Humans are imperfect. And if you want to make this into a moral crusade, then in many ways you're really negating the important point, which is that Brad Pitt is an artist who creates art. He's an actor who acts. Maybe that's the realm where he should be evaluated. Maybe that's what the critic's saying. Maybe we should pay attention to his role in this movie and whether the movie is good and how well is acted.
You know, it's funny. Sorry, I keep stopping this, but like, my mind races. It's funny how he's saying all this, but he was vilifying Johnny Depp for allegedly abusing Amber Heard that we all know didn't fucking happen. He is completely trying to destroy that man. This isn't aging well either. Who remembers this? He was talking about Johnny Depp's fucking his drug use and his drinking and his abusive behavior, and he was abused. So he's doing that to Johnny Depp, and that's totally acceptable because he has a PhD at the end of his fucking name. But we can't do this to this broad. Fucking miss me with this
acting. How well he acted in it, rather than litigating something from 2016, which, although potentially horrible, it doesn't affect his acting. I mean, it may have. It probably affected him psychologically. I'm sure he was hurt by it. Maybe. I don't know. I presume. And so here, with us, this whole smear campaign has been a referendum on your character. It's been a referendum. It's been a moral referendum on you and who you are, rather than a critique or analysis of your work. And so I'm fascinated by that because it's hard not to say that the reason that debate, the reason why this has nothing to do with your work, although I will say we have gotten a lot of emails from people that are very praiseworthy of our work and that see this for what they see, that you've done nothing wrong. And even if you made a few mistakes, they're willing to forgive you because
Hey, Ski Utah, tell John to land this plane. He's been circling the airport for an hour. Can we get to the fucking glasses throwing? Can we get there? I don't want to hear about, you've done nothing wrong. Well, fucking YouTube determined that was a motherfucking lie, John Matthias. Princeton psychologist, in quotations, I might add. In quotations, they put it.
Pinata Samurai said, she loves your work, right? I'm going to read a message we just got today. Okay. I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if I'm authorized, but she says, quote, "Hello, I want to tell you how much I appreciate the quality, credibility, and positive nature of your work. You don't deserve the abuse you're experiencing." I love that because it's the same thing that Pinata Samurai is saying. It's the same thing that Brad Pitt's movie critic is saying. It's, if you reframe this as a moral crusade and not about the quality of your work, it's easier to win to the smear people.
Okay, I'm stopping this again. No, you're missing the point, Doctor, PhD. The point is your work is based off of the families that Lauren is abusing in several different ways. What don't you understand? He's trying to do the old bait and switch. Like, no, just look at her work. No, the work was the motherfucking problem, John Matthias. The work was the problem. Okay, it was the problem. Crusher just said, this is funny, as many times as I've watched this live stream, it wasn't until recently I heard John cuss toward the end of it. I was like, oh damn, not as clean as you want people to think you are. Yeah, no, they're frauds and delusional. Yeah, Ski Utah, exactly. Yeah, Lauren's unamused. Yeah, she's like, give me another Xanax and some tequila. I'm gonna get white girl wasted tonight, John. You might get the old blowy. Yeah, their work is the problem. Yep, Crusher. You know firsthand. Very two-faced, Amber. Very two-faced. And who was he? I saw someone earlier. They were like, who's he trying to convince? Me or you? Who's he trying to convince? You're not convincing us. Not by a long shot. Peanut butter taffy, bubblegum taffy, caramel. I like the fruity ones myself.
It's easier to win that argument because human beings are drawn to that moral crusade. They're drawn into that morality play. For me, I'm less interested in his biography and I'm more interested in his actual art.
Yeah.
And I want to evaluate him on that terrain.
Fair.
Rather than in terms of morality, right? But it shows that human beings have this knee-jerk reaction to go after moral issues.
Yeah.
In fact, like this whole idea of cancel culture, this whole idea of harming people on the internet is based on this idea of humans being moral creatures on moral crusades, trying to assert their moral superiority.
Yeah.
With or without, most often without moral authority, but moral authority is a tricky issue. So I don't want to get into that.
Yeah. I retract that motherfucking statement. I would pull back the clutch on that one.
Not too much. I mean, because, you know, ironically, I think some of the people on the smear campaign would say that their moral authority comes from God.
Yeah.
And so I think that in the smear campaign, I think there's a religious component, right? So if you have God on your side and you're right, so being right in this case means that they're morally superior, and they're right because they're trying to show that you are immoral and that you have poor character, and therefore you should be canceled. And they're trying to show that with evidence that's flimsy at best.
Do you know what we're witnessing here? He is so afraid that he's gonna have to go get a job. He's like, no, don't get my wife canceled. Okay, I can't leave my fucking books and my heels behind to go work. Okay, I haven't worked since 2016 because I have this imaginary fucking brain injury. No, John, you're just a fucking scrub. This right here, kids, is what we're witnessing is fear of having to go back to work.
Or with evidence that, you know, with evidence that you've seen and apologized for. I mean,
yeah.
But I just think, that's problematic. So let's take it a step further. So people are going to.
You're problematic, sir. You are the problem. Okay. You're the problem. Your wife's a bigger fucking problem.
To say, oh, what? So what? All right. So people engage in this moral crusade, and people see themselves as good fundamentally and moral, blah blah blah. Who cares, right? So okay. So Brad Pitt, you know, may have done this abusive thing. Maybe some people think they should cancel him for that. Maybe they don't care about his work, right? Like, so people are saying, maybe, all right. So they're going after you for being immoral or whatever. People are trying to cancel you. Why should we care?
Why should we care? You guys can't make me go back to work. You guys have to feed me super chat money and ad revenue so I can just stay here, watch my son, and let my wife go be a whore around the U.S. and take advantage of families so they can pay for my McMansion in the hills with the greenhouse. So I have a bigger space for my books that have useless information because I'm an idiot. Listen, I'd rather have street smarts than book smarts, okay? Do I have a degree? Yeah. Do I work? Do I have a good job? Yeah. Okay, I do. But I'm also street smart, right? I don't pretend to be something I'm not. These people pretend. They pretend everything. They're scared.
And I want to point out, like, you know, I've canceled businesses because their values don't adhere to mine. I mean, that's fair, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, right. If people
not canceled, not like gone on and tried to start a smear campaign, but learned maybe a business isn't one I want to support.
I'm not suggesting.
And if people feel that about us, I get it.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying. I'm pointing out the disparity between focusing almost exclusively on moral issues,
right,
versus ignoring the work.
Right.
That if you see someone is deeply immoral and there's evidence.
Yo, Ski Utah and Colette are on it tonight. Ski Utah says the outdated books from other countries. Boom! And then Colette says, I think the strategy is to talk in circles to get people disassociated. Girl, preach. Preach it. A hundo.
Of that, not preconceived notions of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I think you know, sure, people have the right to judge things as being immoral and not consistent with their values, and then not caring, like not paying attention to someone's work. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's certain people like me. There might be moral questions around Brad Pitt, but it doesn't really affect me. I'm not really interested in his personal life.
For you, it's about his
work, right? Now there might be some people that say, "Oh my gosh, I'm never going to see another movie by him." That's their choice.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's some businesses I thought, oh, I don't want to, you know, support that business because maybe I found out their founder isn't someone who holds my, you know, same beliefs, and then I'll end up actually supporting them because they make a good chicken sandwich. So it happens.
Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't LDS own fucking that place they went to on Christmas Eve? Don't they have gospel on the merchandise, don't they? Isn't that LDS led? They don't follow my beliefs, bitch. You were on Mormon Stories 6 months ago talking about how grateful you are to be LDS, and you raised your son as an LDS. He had a blessing as an LDS. What the are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh my God. Oh, they're not Mormons? Chick-fil-A. Okay. Is that what she meant? In and Out. Yeah. Ski-Utah. They are church or Catholic. I don't know. They're definitely not. They're not Catholics. I know Hobby Lobby is owned by the Mormons. I know that. I'm about to look. Look at that face. Oh my God. Wait, I'm screenshotting this. I'm screenshotting it. Oh, this is so good. Hold on. Screenshot. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. That is hilarious. What a fucking screenshot.
So the next step in this is if humans are essentially moral creatures and that's how we see the world and evaluate them, we all want to be good. The question is, one of the questions that arises from that is
Kresha, right? So In and Out Burger, they are owned by the goddamn LDS. They went to In and Out Burger. Yeah, she was on that asshole, the Mormon radio guy's thing, saying that I'm taking my son and my husband to the In and Out on Christmas Eve. Yes, that's exactly what she did. Okay. She's like, I'm not with him right now. Yo, I'm dirty pausing on these people right, left, and sideways. Oh my God. For Christmas Eve. They go every year. Ski Utah knows. Yeah. Laura Matthias has a clap on, clap off LDS switch. Yeah, when it's convenient. When it's convenient. She's overriding John DeLynne's pee-pee, talking about, I love being LTS, John. I love being LTS, John.
how do we maintain that? So when there's threats to our moral character, how do we maintain that perspective? How do we see ourselves as good? And the answer is there's something called the
Hold on, I gotta stop this again. Yeah, Kresha, Erica Kirk certainly did make an In and Out reference. She certainly did. She was talking about Charlie and how he liked to have his chicken sandwiches. She's another asshole. I bet her and Lauren hang out.
cognitive response principle.
Okay.
The cognitive response principle basically says that any information you get is only going to confirm whatever beliefs or perspectives you have. So in other words, you can get information that contradicts your identity or your view of the world, and you're going to disregard it. You don't care, right? Because what you're going to do, the cognitive response principle basically says that all persuasion is self-persuasion, meaning you're going to get that information, you're going to come up with a lot of reasons why it's wrong, even though it's correct. Somebody gives you evidence of something, you're going to come up with a lot of reasons about why that's wrong.
Okay, he's talking about confirmation bias, okay? And that's not what any of this is about, okay? He's going down rabbit holes that have nothing to do. It's like apples and oranges, okay? Like I'm Catholic, Roman Catholic, okay? I was an altar server. We just went through this. Listen, when the Gauguin priest was shanked and murdered up at Shirley Mack's prison up in Lancaster, Massachusetts, I was like, fucking good. Okay. Not because it had nothing to do with the fact that he was Catholic. Okay. Because I know Catholic priests that are not like that. Okay. That are not like that. I still have the priest in my life from when I got all my sacraments from him. I was in first grade the first year he became like a priest in the parish. He gave me all my sacraments, not that way. But you know what? I know what's wrong and fucking right. And the people and the priests that were abusing my friends and family members and people I knew, they all should catch what Gauguin caught. Okay. Because they're degenerates, just like your wife.
Wrong and why you're still a good person. There's also something we talk about all the time, which is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is you take evidence or information, you find the parts that confirm your view, you disregard the parts that don't.
Right.
And all of a sudden you still believe the same thing. Right. So part of this is that if you're that 4-year-old kid who thinks that Gabriel's a herter, and let's say that kid grows up with Gabriel, let's say he lives in the same neighborhood, that kid at 4 thinks Gabriel's a herter. Every bit of information that 4-year-old gets from there on out until they're adults, he could use to either confirm that view, or he could get information that Gabriel, in fact, is a really good kid. He's in the Boy Scouts. But you might take, let's say, he would take that information and disregard it and tell you why Gabriel is still such a bad kid.
Because you could also say, oh, he's in the Boy Scouts, not good.
Depends. Okay, so this is where it got hairy for me because I remember the victim of Jody Hildebrandt who was absolutely, his life was completely dismantled because he got abused by the Boy Scout leader. Jody started perpetuating the idea that he was going to hurt his kids and he was going to be touching them and he was addicted to porn and all of this stuff. They're making jokes about the fucking Boy Scouts. Like, this was such poor taste. It was weird and unhinged. Yeah, exactly, Crusher. Exactly. This was unhinged. And this shows exactly who they are. They're making jokes about the Boy Scouts when she had Adam Steed next to her in her spare bedroom. Talk every dirty detail that fucking happened. That boy was terrorized by these people and the LDS Church and Jody Hildebrand and this is what they do. I'm gonna back it up so we can listen to it again of what fucking assholes. Talk about a moral high ground. I'm gonna stand on my motherfucking my moral high ground because I don't do this to victims.
Of information that 4-year-old gets from there on out until they're adults, he could use to either confirm that to you or he could get information guarded and tell you why Gabriel is still such a bad kid.
Because you could also say, oh, he's in the Boy Scouts, not good.
Well,
Depending on how you see the Boy Scouts or how you want to see Gabriel. To your point.
I'm using that. Yeah, that's true.
But that was actually a great example. Depending on how you want to see this, good or bad, it's how you'll connect the dots to confirm your bias to Gabriel or to create a new view.
Right, and this is important because if people are engaged in a smear campaign and they get information that contradicts their belief, they're going to ignore it.
Correct.
They're going to stand their moral ground. They're going to stay with their moral superiority. They're going to remain in their self-righteous perspective because they have a moral authority.
They'll twist the evidence. They'll edit the evidence.
They'll edit it. They'll twist it. They're going to show you
the evidence out of context.
Right. They're going to show you whatever they want to show you because of confirmation.
Okay, so the audio of you saying that you hate your marriage and you walked into a marriage you had no idea about, that John doesn't work and you can't stand being married and you want to get away from your kid and all this kind of stuff. Did that land for you, Lauren, as evidence enough that you are a nasty, inhumane human? That you're a bad person? Okay. Did that getting out give you enough evidence that we're not confirmation bias, that we see you for who the fuck you are? How about that, Laura Matthias? John, did you hear the audio? Do I need to send it? Do I need to send it to Patreon? I don't know. On my sock account. Do I have sock accounts? Who knows?
Bias and the cognitive response principle. So no matter what information you give them, it's not going to move the needle. It's not going to impact their perspective that you're a bad person and you're immoral. And they have to fight that battle on that moral terrain because more than likely it's going to be much more difficult to fight it on the terrain of content and the quality of content.
Yeah.
But let's move on. So that's important to know because this is why when evidence comes out to the contrary, like you and I have gotten a lot of feedback from people that's been very positive about creators we've helped, about victims we've helped. They've reached, all these people have reached out to us, right? That contradicts their narrative.
Right.
And so therefore,
okay, how about why haven't the people that you helped positively come out in defending you? Why do you have weirdo Trisha from Web Sleuths, crazy paper plate face Grayson, and Megan opportunist Connor, the only people in your motherfucking corner, the only ones? Why aren't anyone coming out and defending you? Nobody. What, Vinnie Politan? Vinny is no better. Okay. The boy he stands for nothing. Popular opinion.
That's information. That's evidence that contradicts their narrative about how immoral you are. Therefore, they're going to use confirmation bias and they're going to use cognitive response principle to negate or deny or minimize or delete all of that information that could change their perspective, right? That's how you continue on a smear campaign.
Yeah.
You put it on moral terrain, you disengage from any contrary evidence, and that's how you keep going. In fact, that's how you escalate. But let's take the next step in this analysis, and this is a step I love. There's something called the fundamental attribution error.
Okay.
The fundamental attribution error is probably one of the fundamental principles of psychology. It's been proven over and over again by research.
Okay.
It's if there's such thing as a law in the field of psychology, this would be close to that.
Okay.
Another law. There's a psychologist recently deceased.
We're back in that phase.
It's been proven over and over again by research. If there's such thing as a law in the field of psychology, this would be close to that.
Okay.
Another law.
Look at it. Look at her. Right down the barrel. Look at her. Okay. 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 Look at her. Right down the barrel. You see this, Christina? The law of psychology. Fucking weirdos.
There's a psychologist recently deceased, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi is his name. He used to teach at the University of Chicago. He taught flow. He wrote about flow. He's the kind of the father of that. He believed that Lord Acton's law was also a similar law. Lord Acton's law, I'm just throwing this out there to give you an example of another law in psychology. Lord Acton's law says that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolute power.
It sure does. It sure does. Look what happened to you guys. Absolute power in a case because you had to have complete control. Look what happens. They have no self-awareness.
Correct. Absolutely.
So Mihaly.
Crusher, good point. She says about victims being helped. Wow. And then she says, I don't use bias. I used my experience. Ho. I used my experience. Ho. John speaking in tongues again. I fucking can't. I can't. I haven't seen the Jut. Maybe I'm listening. That's all he does is throw shit out there and hope it sticks. Yeah, it's like throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what sticks. This broad.
I believe that was.
When I say broad, I meant John.
A law. This is another what I would consider to be close to a law of human behavior. Fundamental attribution error. So what is the fundamental?
Hold on, I can't.
The evidence for the fundamental attribution error, for example, would be the famous Milgram acting out. Like,
all right, we got to get.
One of the group members believes that the wrong.
Hold on, I have to get through some of this.
How is that relevant?
Where is
because they saw your personality.
Hold on, we got. All right, we'll do most played. Here we go. Here we go. Oh.
My dogma is, quote, my dogma is that all dogma is suspect. And it seems to me that most of the harm in the world is done by those who are dogmatically certain that they are right.
We are right, John. All of us. All of us in this chat. All of us in Hella's chat. All of us in Jay's chat. All of us in Christ. We're all right. Okay. We're all right. Okay. All of us. Every single one of us. You and your books.
For being absolutely right means that those who disagree are absolutely wrong. Those who are absolutely wrong are, of course, dangerous to society and must be restrained or eliminated. That is the beginning of the road to the torture chamber and the gas oven.
Okay, so now they're saying the gas oven and they're referencing Hitler. I missed that the first time, or the first 150 times I've seen this. You're referencing Hitler now. So we had Charlie Kirk, we had Brad Pitt, we had Angelina Jolie, we had Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. We had Hitler. We had Hitler, kids.
Unquote. That's what we're talking about. So when people say, oh, gee, this is just Mean Girls, this is just a stupid catfight, they don't understand the stakes here. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that to the people in the smear campaign, this is a moral crusade that is reducing you to someone or something that's subhuman that needs to be destroyed. This is an ideological war against you. And by the way, many of the people in the smear campaign that we have not named are continuing. They have continued. Just so you know, I'm not going to talk about it more than that. Let's talk about some other risks.
Please don't.
Nothing's going to happen. This is nothing, right? No, virtuous violence theory suggests otherwise. And if you do, as I've done, if you do some of the stalking risk assessments, the risks are considered.
Wait a minute, back it up. Wait a minute, we have to hear that again. When he goes, something I do, the risk assessments, bro, you try to get a diddler off on lenient time because he supposedly hadn't touched a child when he had. Are you fucking all right? And then he lies and says things that I do. You haven't worked in over 10 years. Did Lauren even know you as a worker? Ever. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something else. I've never said this either. It's coming to my mind. I work in healthcare. My previous job that I had also in healthcare, I was responsible for a certain job. I know for 100%, 100%. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you where I worked, what for what institution, whether it was associated to colleges or not. Just assume. Just assume, allegedly, maybe I worked for a huge organization that worked with colleges. Okay, and these colleges would send us, send residents and interns and things like that, and people who were pre-med, they would come and volunteer. Okay. Even if you worked at said institution, if you are pre-med and you volunteered in any capacity, whether you were a greeter or whether you were a you know, a COVID swabber or anything. You are in the system as an employee under volunteer services. Okay. The fact that he's trying to make us believe that he worked for UVU or the fuck he was an adjunct professor. And the reason why he's not in this in the system is because he was a volunteer. Okay. Even if you were third party to an organization, like if someone said, oh no, he worked for this place though, and he was hired on to be a volunteer, to be like a mentor. No. It doesn't matter. You would still be in the system in volunteer services. Okay. One thing I know with 100% certainty is even if he was a volunteer in any capacity, whether it be directly for the organization or third party, you would be in the fucking system as volunteer services. No, I'm not going to divulge. I don't work. What I'm talking about, I don't work in that capacity any longer. But what I'm just saying, I know with 100% certainty that is the case. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you volunteer or not. You have to keep track of people who are doing anything for your organization. This isn't just for healthcare. This is for colleges. This is for outpatient. This is for everything. It doesn't matter. I'm just using it as an example that it doesn't matter whether you volunteer or not. There has to be some record of you working in any capacity for any organization. It doesn't matter. Even if you're a volunteer at fucking Walmart to greet people, you still have to fill out an application. You still have to be logged in the system. It's a fucking liability.
Girls, nothing's going to happen. This is nothing, right? No, virtuous violence theory suggests otherwise. And if you do, as I've done, if you do some of the stalking risk assessments, the risks are considerable.
And this is what he does: is he assesses and evaluates offenders. So this is what you do with your philosophy.
We know.
Oh, do you? Does he, Lauren? Look at that. Dude, look at that screenshot. Holy moly. She looks like a caricature. Oh my God. Yeah, subhuman is zombie or dark. Yeah, that's why she labeled herself dark. We didn't have to do it for her. She labeled herself that.
Just kidding. Psychology.
There's so many examples of when you engage with people on a moral crusade and your goal is to dehumanize them, and you see it as a moral issue, it will escalate. And that was a concern you and I had. If people say, oh my God, this stalking order is so frivolous. No, it's not. And this is why. Because you and I were trying to prevent someone landing at our door with a gun. We did not want to get to that point.
And somebody has now threatened us with that online.
Yes.
Officially.
We received our first official death threat the other day. Which again,
not our first official, actually.
Yeah, that's true. We've had others. That's true.
But it was very chilling.
It was chilling, and it shows you the extent to which, when you start framing things in terms of this moral crusade, this is what you get. What are some of the other risks? And we're going to define stalking in a second, but let's talk about some of the other risks involved here and why this is not just mean girl behavior. Number one, the obsessive nature of the posts. Risk, and we're going to define stalking in a second, but let's talk about some of the other risks involved here and why this is not just mean girl behavior. Number one.
Oh, it was too quick.
The obsessive nature of the posts. Everyone we talk about this all the time. Another risk here.
Months and months and
with haunting you. The stalker did that. On the day of our hearing in September, she went outside, she filmed herself doing a mic drop. That's harassment.
What was supposed to, it was supposed to be our evidentiary hearing, and the judge changed it to a later date, and
the judge continued it
and lessened the stalking injunction, and she went out and did a mic drop.
Against Utah code, by the way.
Yeah, because she was like, fucking mic drop. Yeah. How is that harassment? How is that? How do these people survive in the world? Where the fuck are his teeth? Exactly.
Utah code specifies quite clearly that you can't modify a stalking injunction without hearing evidence from the petitioner.
And that's what happened.
From Lauren. And the injunction was modified without hearing a shred of evidence from us. Also, just so people know this, our lawyer tried to get the stalking injunction enforced.
My lawyer, who's not my brother, P.S. Go ahead.
Our lawyer, Daston, not her brother, our lawyer who...
One of four.
Yeah, right. We have other lawyers too. None of them
are my brother.
Yeah, so whatever, let the rumor mill.
Yeah, he knows that that's a lie. That is your fucking brother, you weirdo.
Our lawyer tried to argue correctly that because there were multiple violations of a stalking injunction, which is a felony, that the stalking injunction should get automatically enforced. Guess what? The
And
court,
that is Utah code. That is if you violate it twice.
our lawyer made the point that that hearing never should have even occurred. It shouldn't have even been an issue. It's black and white. Someone violated a stalking injunction. It gets enforced. It should have been enforced. End of story. Let's move on. You and I have our privacy intact. That's all we wanted. We wanted this to be private. We wanted to move on with our lives without someone harassing us all the time, bullying us, stalking us.
Calling. We'll get into that later.
Behavior is immediately viewed by hundreds of friends and followers and is preserved forever in digital form. I can't tell you how much that impacted you, and they're proving it.
Well, one reason we chose to not say this person's name and to blur her and the TikToks, which we didn't need to do, we didn't, was because of that understanding. We're not going to do that.
Correct. But this research...
She appeared publicly. She wanted everyone to find her. She was working on algorithm. She admits it on the TikTok. Come join me. Send the word. Spread the word. Here we are. And we still didn't do that because we understand what that means. We didn't want to do that.
We went through it. But I mean, like, this is extraordinary because when people mock you about whether this is cyberbullying, when people say Team Lauren's a joke, I don't know what they're saying. I don't care. But the point, like this.
Hold on. I'm just going to stop this and say, listen, kids, during the Karen Reed shit, I was going through cancer. Okay. And there was like a bunch of stuff. I ended up like exposing a free Karen Reed creator for some shit. And all of his minions came after me. Okay. All of them. I was like, literally these people were like, I wish your cancer fucking killed you. Okay. I wish your cancer killed you. Do you know what I didn't do? Go get a stalking injunction. Okay. The internet's cruel. Stop being on the internet if you can't take it.
Data, this research that shows, I'm going to read it again because it's so, the impact of even a single episode is potentially extremely serious because the behavior is immediately viewed by hundreds of friends and followers and is preserved forever in digital form. Not to mention which the internet is open 24/7.
Yeah.
So any threats or any posts on social media can happen at any time of the day or night. There were times when you would wake up at 3 a.m. and go, is there a post? Is there a post? What did she say now? Is she threatening me now? But this explains why even a single episode of cyberbullying can be traumatic.
Yeah.
Because the fear is that it's going to be viewed by thousands, hundreds or thousands of people, and it's never going to be erased. It's going to exist forever. This is exceptionally important. Let's talk about more victim impact. I'm going to read from an article called A Developmental Approach to Cyberbullying, Prevalence and Protective Factors. It's by Kowalski et al. It's in Aggression and Violent Behavior, 2019, volume 45. This is on page 22. Outcomes of cyberbullying.
All right.
Quote, researchers have consistently found that cyberbullying is associated with a variety of negative consequences for both victims and perpetrators. Among the negative,
hold on,
or admiring, being exactly like or complimenting or sharing a destiny with a particular object or person. So you begin with a narcissistic linking fantasy. I'm going to start with that, okay? Because that's.
Hold on. What is this? I gotta stop this.
You begin or sharing a destiny.
Okay. So it says narcissistic linking fantasy. Special, loved, idolized, admired by, superior to, destined to be with the object. Who does that sound like? Acute or chronic rejection. Who does that sound like? Feelings of shame and humiliation. Who does that sound like? Defended against with rage. Who does that sound like? Fuels behavioral pursuit to hurt, to control, to damage, or destroy. Who does that sound like? Restores narcissistic linking fantasy.
With a particular object or person. So you begin with a narcissistic linking fantasy. I'm going to start with that, okay? Because that's the basis of stalking. Yeah. But I'm going to switch lanes a little bit here because I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to switch lanes. So I'm going to swerve a little bit here, and I'm going to talk about an Eminem song from 2000 called "Stan." A stan is basically a combination of a fan and a stalker, and the song is specifically about a fan who becomes a stalker because presumably Eminem or a celebrity won't respond to this person's emails. The reason I bring this up is because 2 of the detectives in Colorado that were responsible for...
Hold on, wait. Crusher just said, I forget exactly where I heard this, but it came from Lauren that said she had to move due to being stalked in order to be more safe. Please tell me how it makes her or her family feel safer. Exactly. Especially safer from a stalker. If it was a real stalker, they find you wherever you are. Right? Yeah. Oh my God, Stella Bella. He should be this passionate in the bedroom. Ugh. Oh, that comes with visuals.
Executing the stalking order, they talked to you and Grayson afterwards, and they both refer to the TikToker as a fangirl. In fact, I wrote it down because Grayson told me what they said. One of the detectives said, I think.
Oh, because Grayson told me what they said.
This is a fangirl who rode yours. I think this is a fangirl who rode your coattails for a bit and then fell off, and now she's very angry about it. So this is important because although I don't really see you or us as celebrities, like
no,
in our little niche, in our little true crime niche, people know us, right? So it doesn't really matter whether we're not Brad Pitt, we're not Angela.
It's not a niche, John. It's a niche. It's called a niche. But Princeton didn't teach you that? That wasn't on the vocab list?
Angelina Jolie, right? Like, obviously, we're not famous, but in our little niche, people know us. And that, by the way, is sufficient. That's sufficient to have someone fangirl you. Or me, I guess, to some degree. By the way, you get recognized all the time in public. Last week was the first time somebody recognized. I was at a Trader Joe's.
They were like, is your wife the one that did that crazy 9-hour live?
No, that was before. I was wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask in Trader Joe's because I thought nobody would recognize me. And I don't want to get sick because Trader Joe's is kind of a tight space. But somebody came up to me and they're like, are you Dr. John with Hidden True Crime? And I was like, maybe.
Who's asking?
I don't know.
I'm going to take schedule. Gotta go.
Anyway.
You were very flattered.
I was flattered. She was very kind. I just thanked her for watching. Now I'm going to talk about something called life force essentialism.
Oh my God, make it stop. Hold on.
Life force.
Wait, where does he throw the glass?
Essentialism is different than category essentialism in the sense that I can't find my notes. Oh, there it is. Life force.
I got his notes down, guys. They're all spread out. I'm like, there you go. Life force is.
Hold on.
It's not serious.
Yeah.
It's a cat fight, right? I'll go on. Quote, put simply, stalking by females is yet to be afforded the same degree of seriousness attached to males who harass. This despite empirical evidence that females are no less intrusive or persistent in their stalking and that they are no less a threat to their victims. I just want to say on that issue that when it comes to stalking, and this is consistent with the research I just read, there's clearly a sexist bias. Mm-hmm. Males are prosecuted, females aren't. When females engage in this type of behavior, even though they're equally dangerous, the research shows this, that they're dismissed. And you know what's interesting about your situation? I really appreciate the fact that certain men like Colby Ryan reached out to you and said, thank you for that vulnerability. Thank you for that type of raw emotion. But you know what? There's a lot of people that are going to really struggle with that type of raw emotion. There's a lot of people that are going to struggle with that type of vulnerability. There's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable. And because of that, they're labeling you things like histrionic, right? They're dismissing you because you're.
We're getting to the glasses throw, kids. We're getting there. Lori Helves called it histrionic because she called a spade a spade. She has histrionics. She's a great blend of Jodi Arias, Amber Heard, Blake Lively.
You're a female expressing emotion. This is where the sexist bias comes in. They're dismissing you as not serious, as untrustworthy, right? They're dismissing you as frivolous, as silly, as being engaged in a catfight, as a dispute between mean girls because you're female. Because the stalker wasn't following you with a gun. It doesn't matter. People can't handle the type of vulnerability and emotion that you expressed on that live for hours. What's the response? It's to call you histrionic. It's to call you a liar. It's to say you're faking. It's to say you're doing it for clicks. You're doing it for attention, right? That's because, and by the way, one of the people saying this because of this was on our show years ago. And I will say,
Lori Hellis, here we go. So I'm going to pause it for a second. Lori Hellis was on The Glarer the first time she made an appearance on the show. He got her on. and she mentioned that Lauren's histrionics, and then that this is when she made her first statement that she didn't think that Lauren was going to self-harm, or as Lauren called it, her ideation, right? So she stated that on the Glare is Live, the first time she made an appearance on another channel.
Say this, one of the worst moments I've ever had in 5 years, one of the moments that pissed me off to no end, unlike every other moment on any show I've ever been on. This person was on the show, and somebody, a viewer, asked a question of me that was extremely emotional. And I was pondering the question. You could see I was getting emotional. I was going to give one of the best responses I've ever given. And you know what happened? Because this person couldn't handle the fact that I was getting emotional, they cut me off. Yeah. They absolutely cut me off, refused to let me answer because they couldn't handle that emotion. In a male, especially in a male, that raw emotion that I was about to express, and I was so angry. If this person wonders why she's not on our channel, you might want to look at yourself. You might want to look at the fact that you cut me off in one of the most critical moments on one of our shows that I've ever had. You might want to look at the fact that people didn't like you. You might want to look at the fact that you spoke over Lauren and myself. You might want to look at the fact that you thought you owned this channel when you didn't. You might want to look at the fact that there was a groundswell of people who despised you.
Mic drop. I fucking can't. I cannot with these people. Oh my god. Ew. All he wants to do, yeah, Estella Bella. All he wants to do is nestle his head in between Lauren's implants. The creepy part is this is the only time John looks at the camera directly. Yeah. Yeah, he's on his valid truth journey. Yeah, the tongue jet. Oh my god. Yo, Stella. I got the tongue. I got it. Look at it. She has her lips suck. The bottom like oh. You know, it reminds me of, you know, in Home Alone when the brother Buzz is like, oh, he's such a troubled child, and he grabs his finger and he's like, oh, you know, that's what that reminds me of. And then we got the Jet. We had Dr. Jet. Yeah, it's ew, actually, Colette. Exactly. All right, you guys, I need to breeze. I could be here with you guys forever and a day. But I need to get some sleep and whatnot. And you guys too. Thank you for hanging out with me all night. And tomorrow, Kresha, send me a link to whatever stream. If you want to do it tomorrow, let me know. If not, let me know when you want to do it. I can't wait to talk about all the things with you. And yeah, you guys have a good night. And we will be going over a lot more Matthias material. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.